Blog Talk Radio.
Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you.
We back.
Debate talk for you.
2015, y'all.
Debate talk for you.
What up, South Showtime?
Debate talk for you.
We about to do it like this.
Debate talk for you.
Come on.
Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you.
It's time to debate. You live from a special man. Y'all get ready. And you know how we do TV for you, man. It's about to get heavy. With now pouring out like the floodgates open and the water broke 11. Don't come here if you want to act petty. And the snake walking in crawls out on the cellar. Now that's innocence, we the seed of the woman. We come from the serpent. But it's not our own power, it's given by the Father, man. I'm just a servant. We all wearing garments, covered with the stain of our sin, and we can't get it out with detergent. The message is urgent. Yeshua the Messiah came and died for your sins, just in case you never heard it. Now some want to say it ever happened that way. He never existed. While others want to claim he is lame, not Messiah the prophet predicted. When you holler at me, homeboy, you better be real tight with the scripture. Cause when I disagree truth, I'm gonna show I ain't arguing with ya. You got Muslims, most atheistic, and meditative bodies trying to get it in. Now Messianics better not have fear when you step inside the lines in. Time Showtime is the host, and you know he loves people with him in the mix. So sit back and enjoy the summer special before we start freezing. Sit. Y'all know what time it is.
Talk for you.
It's just on the Friday is.
Talk for you.
And where they kick that knowledge is.
Talk for you.
And where you crush the scholars is.
Talk for you.
South Showtime.
Debate talk for you.
Got callers on the line.
Debate talk for you.
Okay, what we about to do?
Debate talk for you.
It's
Debate talk for you.
This is
Debate talk for you.
Come on. Y'all know who this is, man. It's your brother, the Doctor in Israel, a.k.a. the guy hopped on the beat. Welcome to Debate Talk for You Summer Special 2015. Shout out to South Showtime, man. We about to get it in. Don't walk in the lion's den if you ain't prepared to be like Daniel up in this piece, man. You gon' have to have faith in God or get 8 pieces. Real talk.
Dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk for You Radio.
What it do, people? It's your boy B Lit Dive, and I'm chilling over here with my man Sal Showtime, man. And I'm just here to let y'all know that there's only one place that you need to go to hear the word from the word, man. And that's at Debate Talk for You, man. I'm going to slow it down, man, because a lot of people slow. I speak fast because I'm from New York, but, you know, I'm going to slow it down, man. That's Debate Talk for You, hosted by my man Sal Showtime. You dig? Keep it tuned, man. You already know what it is.
Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Achad. Shalom, this is Brother Jason of the Hand of Yah Ministries, where the name of Yahuwah is proclaimed. And I want to thank Sal Showtime for allowing the Heavenly Father to use him and his show, Debate Talk for You, as a meeting place for people around the world to hear scriptural truth. If this show has been a blessing in your life as it has been in mine, send a donation to the ministry and support the work. Keep up the good work, Sal, and may Yahuwah bless us all.
We are back with a Debate Talk for You Summer Special. I'm your host, Sal Showtime. And once again, I appreciate you being here, checking out the show. I want you to go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debatetalkforyou, and make sure you subscribe and support the brand. Remember, we are on from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember, this is the show where you, the listening audience, become the jury. So make sure you call in with your questions and your comments while dialing that number, 646-716-7320, and press number 1, and we can add you into the conversation. Remember, check out the most respected debate forum in the world. That's Debate Talk for You. Check out the show and enjoy.
planets of debates. Debate Talking Radio.
Hi, this is Tyrone Thompson, host of the Blog Talk Radio broadcast Talk Real Solutions. Please tune in and listen to all of our shows 7 nights a week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At Talk Real Solutions, we cover a variety of topics to ensure we speak about what may be needed in our community at any time. Talk Real Solutions is the hottest blog talk radio show going on right now. You can listen to our broadcast at www.blogtalkradio.com/talkrealsolutions or visit our website at www.talkrealsolutions.com. Also like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/talkrealsolutions. You can call in at any time during the show and add to the conversation and offer your solutions at 1-858-357-8453. That's 1-858-357-8453. Because at Talk Real Solutions, we want to make sure you have a chance to talk real solutions.
Hello, everybody out there listening in. It's Brother LeVar, co-teacher of Absolute Bible Truth Ministry. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge and give reverence and credence to the Father of all creation, the Holy One of Israel. Peace and blessings in the name of our Lord and King, the Messiah, Jesus Christ. I want to take this great opportunity to invite you guys to the Absolute Bible Truth broadcast on Blog Talk Radio. If you love to hear the word or have any questions concerning the word, call in and dial 646-716-8249. That's 646-716-8249. We are live on the air every Saturday, the Most High's weekly Sabbath, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to listen in via internet, type in www.blogtalkradio.com/Absolute Bible Truth. We also have a Facebook page. Just type in Absolute Bible Truth, all one word, in the search engine. At ABT, we teach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth concerning the Word of God while leaving out all personal opinions, speculations, and beliefs. Our ministry believes emphatically that the Bible is indeed the absolute truth, and we pride ourselves in bringing forth the Word in a clear, intelligent fashion so that the body of Christ will be edified in abundance. I love you guys, pray our strength in Christ, and we will do the same for you. Shalom.
It's Debate Talk for You Radio. I'm your host, Showtime, and I just want to take this time to thank each and every listener out there that's been tuning in from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and all of you that call in by dialing that number 646-716-7320. You know, it's all about the people getting answers to their questions, and we love the fact that you tune in each and every week. So one love to all the people all over the world. And check out Debate Talk for You Radio on your phone, via Skype, or via website at www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. And remember, we're on YouTube as well. So subscribe and support the brand.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Sal at Debate Talk for You. This is Azama Al Yasha Allah. Hey, Debate Talk for You is where it's at. Yeah, what's going on? Hey, you can get your verses straight. You know, present what you got. Put yourself on record. You know, let the audience, decide, if what you present is inside the scriptures. You know, your opponent may try and cut you off, but Sal would just mute that guy's mic so you can present what you studied for. This is what it's all about. Once again, shout out to Sal at Debate Talk for You. Terrific job. We can press number 1 or find ourselves in the lion's den.
This is Frank Nowak, Coming straight out of Phoenix, Arizona, aka the Soldier of Faith, aka the Catholic. When I'm not exegeting scriptures according to the early church or studying the church fathers, I'm listening to Debate Talk for You with Sal Showtime. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Sicut erat in principio et nunc et in seculum seculorum. Amen.
All praises, all honor, all glory to the supreme intellect of the universe. This is Nasi Yashuvel of Shomrei HaTorah in Atlanta. And if I'm not reading my Torah or suplexing some false deity, I'm listening to my man Sal Showtime and Debate Talk for You Radio. Beautiful. Keep doing the good work, brother, bringing forth the information and spreading that love.
This is Renald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. You're now listening to the Debate Talk for You Summer Special. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and welcome everybody to the Lion's Den. That's right, guys. You're officially inside the Lion's Den for the Debate Summer Special, where we have the best debates in the world via internet. We have the best special guests to bring forth the information to the masses out there. And welcome back to Debate Talk for You Radio. Once again, I'm back on the line, back here, by popular demand. And I appreciate all those people out there that's been requesting the Debate Talk for You Summer Special. We started this thing last summer, and by popular demand, people have been emailing me, people have been requesting it. So we all about the people getting satisfied and being edified by the information. And we're back in full effect, and we have a 2-week special for you guys. That's right, 2 weeks. Starting from today, July 17th, all the way to July 31st. We have nothing but great classic shows for you guys. I'm going to go through the schedule as we go along. And, of course, my special guests are standing by. Tonight, we're going to have a classic debate for you guys tonight. We're going to kick off this Debate Talk for You Summer Special. And, again, get your pen and pad ready. Like I always say, take down some notes. And for those people that are new to Debate Talk for You Radio, you can call in later on live with your questions and your comments while down in that number, 646-716-7320. Today's show is entitled, Are Holy Books Necessary? That's right, guys. Once again, today's debate is entitled, Are Holy Books Necessary? Again, I'm going to introduce my special guests in a few minutes. They're standing by. But, again, I want to thank all those people overseas that are checking out the show. We have the international listeners out there that check out the show all across the globe. That's some people actually waking up to Debate Talk for You Radio. So, again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in live. And, of course, everybody on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that's checking us out. Do me a favor. If you're on Facebook and you're inside the group checking out the show, then share it on your personal page. Let people know that Debate Talk for You is back live on the air with the summer special, and let them know they can call in live by down in that number. Again, 646-716-7320. It's all about the people getting answers to their questions. So before I introduce my special guest, you already know I got to go through the brief announcements. As usual, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4 and the letter U @gmail.com. Go to facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. That's facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. You can download the show via iTunes. Just go to the podcast section and type in the search box Debate Talk, the number 4 and the letter U, and you'll see the show pop up absolutely free. The great thing about the iTunes podcast is that you can never miss another show. You can check out season 1 all the way up to the present season of Debate Talk for You. And by the way, guys, season 6 is going to begin September 11th. We're going to start a brand new season, season 6, on Friday, September 11th. We'll be back on the air for the fall season of Debate Talk for You, so make sure you jot that down. Again, I recommend that you subscribe to the iTunes podcast, download it to your iPad, your tablet, whatever you have, and never miss another episode. And do us a favor and subscribe and support the brand. Go to Instagram.com/Debate Talk for You. Of course, we got some videos up on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Debate Talk for You. Shout out to the YouTube audience out there. We're just exposing the YouTube audience to Debate Talk for You, and so far it's growing slowly but surely, the YouTube audience of Debate Talk for You. Most people know that Blog Talk Radio, we're like the top show on Blog Talk, but we're trying to get the YouTube audience out there. So I appreciate those YouTube audience that's been listening and checking out the show. I go to Twitter at Showtime DT4U. That's Showtime. D as in David, T as in Tom, the number 4, and the letter U. For all the first-time listeners, welcome to Debate Talk for You Radio. There are many segments on this radio show. We have the music artist testimony, where I invite artists for interviews doing positive music. We also get to hear some of their latest music that's out there, and also hear from the fans. I invite a variety of teachers on the show to present biblical lessons. You, the listening audience, can call in live. You become the jury by dialing that number, 646-716-7320, and hold the teachers accountable, so you can ask your questions. As long as you keep it clean, keep it professional. We have the hot seat. That's the show where I invite special guests, and for 60 minutes, the listening audience will call in with nothing but good questions and comments. We have the roundtable discussions, which is the show where I invite several guests, and we have a full panel on the show where we discuss a particular topic. And again, once again, you can call in live and give me your feedback. As a matter of fact, for the summer special, we have 4 roundtables already set up. Once again, that's 4 roundtables set up for this 2-week summer special. You don't want to miss this summer special. Again, it's classics. I'm gonna let you know what those roundtable discussions will be about later on as we go along. We have a show called Let Us Reason, which is a platform inviting special guests for a one-on-one dialogue. And last, the most popular show on Blog Talk Radio for Debate Talk for You, the brand, is the Lions Den Debates that's going on tonight. Again, like I said, where we have the best debates in the world, and we have the best special guests to bring forth the information. So if you're out there, hopefully you can subscribe on Blog Talk Radio and never miss another episode. That's another way you can subscribe. Once again, go to www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. We have a lot to cover tonight. I'm going to try to go through it briefly before we get right into the debate. Once again, the debate is going down in a few minutes, but of course, you're not going to go through a few brief announcements. Keep in mind, I have a variety of special guests on the show. So whatever information you hear, I make sure that you take notes and do your own independent research. That's to make sure the information is accurate. We're free to call in live. You must hold our elders, teachers, and scholars accountable. This is a family show, so make sure when you call in, you keep it clean, keep it professional. There's no foul language, guys. We've got to keep it clean. We have people listening with their kids, so keep it clean, keep it professional. The views and opinions expressed on all segments broadcasted on Blog Talk Radio are entirely those of the special guest and does not in any way reflect the opinions of the Debate Talk for You host or personnel. I'm giving away 11 free albums, guys, on this particular summer special. Not tonight, but for the entire 2 weeks. I'll be giving away one, each show of a new artist that's going to be coming out. His album's not even out yet. It's going to come out August 6th. But he's decided to reach out to me and gave me the exclusive albums to give away to my listening audience out here. So whoever calls in during the public Q&A and they're calling number 5 will receive a free CD from Seek Truth. He's a new gospel rap artist that's coming out real soon. Again, it's Seek Truth, and his album is actually called The Prophetic. That's coming out August 6th. Again, it's going to be his first album. It hasn't even been released yet, but it's going to come out August 6th. And we've got the exclusive free copies of those albums, or the free exclusives albums for you guys. So, again, if you're calling number 5, you're going to have to email me your address at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com, and we're going to send it out to you absolutely free, this new free album from Seek Truth. We're going to give some more things away also as we go along with this 2-week summer special on Debate Talk for You. So, again, if you're calling number 5, you're going to get a free Seek Truth CD. Help keep Debate Talk for You on the air by sending in your donations. Individuals that host their own shows on Blog Talk Radio know on a monthly basis you got to pay the bills in order to stay on the air. So support the brand. Go to www.paypal.com and use the email donations@debatetalkforyou.com. That's donations@debatetalkforyou.com. Whether it be $1, $5, or more, remember, you're making it all happen. So we appreciate everybody out there that donated and keep us on the air live. Debate Talk for You Radio is all about your support. And we appreciate that you continue to support the brand. Send in your 2-minute audio shout-out. And we play, as you heard during the earlier parts of the show, we play some shout-outs live on the air. You can play. You send that actually through an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. Again, we're playing shout outs. All you need is a voice recorder and just say your name, where you're from, what you like about the show, and then we'll play your shout out right here live on the air on Debate Talk for You. For one low cost, affordable cost, we advertise your business, your live event, your website, your merchandise, etc. right here on Debate Talk for You. Trust me, no one else will allow you to advertise for such a low cost, affordable cost. We have some low rates out here, so we have people out there that there's people out there actually charging hundreds of dollars. We're nowhere near that. I believe in helping out the people and making things affordable. So again, if you want to advertise your business, your live events, things of that nature on Debate Talk for You, just send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. I'm going to actually get to the full schedule, guys, of the, later on. But if you happen to miss the pre-debate summer special, you can just go to the archives and see and hear the full schedule. If you missed the pre-debate summer special, just go to www.blogtalkradio.com/debatetalkforyou and click on the summer pre-debate special. And I broke down the whole schedule that's going to be going down this particular summer right now on Debate Talk for You. So again, if you want to hear that schedule, I'm going to go through it later on briefly and try to, squeeze it in as the debate goes along. But again, if you want to hear the entire schedule later on and check out the pre-debate, you can always go to the website and check that out. All right, so let me introduce my special guest and my brother Imam. If you're out there, just press the number 1, and we can bring you in here. But my first special guest, this brother made his Lions Den debut on Season 5 of Debate Talk for You against Awarded Swordsman. His second debate was up against the Morris Science Temple brother of America, Lord Abba. And we know Lord Abba is a great contender and is a great debater, great teacher. He's representing Pan-Africanism, and he is back, and he put out this challenge to my brother Imam Bashir. This is Chief X. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sal, for having me. This is Chief X, the God that's reincarnated, and I just want to make sure you hear me loud and clear. I don't want to know if you just hear me, but I'm going to be clear. Am I clear, Sal?
Yeah, you loud and clear, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very clear.
Yeah, you loud and clear, man. All right, man. Welcome to the show, brother. We in the Lions Den, so I can give it that lion roar right there.
I love being in the Lions Den.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Before we begin, for those who don't know who you are, just brief the people, give them a brief bio about yourself, and also let them know, for those who missed the summer pre-debate special, why you put up this challenge for Brother Imam Bashir. About that.
Okay. Thank you, Sal. Chief X speaking again. And, I'm the one who challenged Imam Bashir, and he's a formidable challenger. I actually respect him and like him. He has a cool personality, but he does need this teaching and this correction. A little bit about myself. I consider myself politically a Pan-African, representing under the banner of red, black, and green. Theologically, I'm a pantheist, and a pantheist is one who embraces nature in the cosmos. I'm not an atheist. I'm a pantheist. I don't consider myself an atheist per se because I do have a God concept. Although I don't believe in a single entity male creator being, what I embrace is Mother Nature, the cosmos, and things in creation in the universe. I began my journey in 1993, embracing the teachings of the Nation of Islam, and Minister Malcolm X was the one who motivated me, and his teaching and his inspiration, brought me along on my journey. When I first read the book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, that book totally changed my life. I then moved on and found fault in that and started studying with the Moorish Science Temple briefly. I found fault in that, and then I began to embrace and study Orthodox Islam. I found fault in that. Then I started briefly studying with the Hebrew Israelites and that ideology. I found fault in that, and then I finally said to myself, why am I trying to fit in and belong to a clique I'm an individual in this universe. I don't have to belong to a clique. And I just got on a mission to become a truth seeker. And I've been seeking the truth ever since, and began to study ancient African history, Nile Valley civilization, and things of that nature. And I'm just basically a student of life. You know, no titles, just your good brother, trying to share information with the people and stay on the straight and righteous path.
All right, man. Is that lion too loud, brother? Let me know, man. That lion's kind of loud right there, right? I appreciate you, Chief X, for coming on, and we're going to get this thing started. Once again, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on the panel right here on Debate Talk for You. All right, and my next special guest, once again, he's no rookie to debating. Everybody knows him from the House of Consciousness. You know, for those brothers that watch Sonetta TV, the House of Consciousness, go check it out. Shout out to Sonetta. This brother's no rookie, like I said, when it comes to debating live or online. He's been here since season 4, Debate Talk for You. He's the leader of the Lions of Allah, representing Islam, and always ready for a challenge. This is Imam Bashir. Welcome to the show. Hold on 1 second. Uh-oh. Imam Bashir, you there? Uh-oh. Hopefully we don't have no technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second.
Hold on, we got you. You hear me?
I got you now, brother. I got you. There we go.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Yeah,
all right. So I'm going to say peace to the family. It's a pleasure to be here. Debate Talk for You, as you know. And, you know, I want to say peace, salam alaikum, and shalom, and hotep to the family. Peace, especially to my brother Chief X. It's going to be a very interesting topic tonight. I want to say this, though. Today, it's really not a debate. This is really an execution. And this is really a funeral for misinformation and the misappropriation and the full-out disregard for divine guidance. So I'm ready to get this thing started because this is so dear to me, because so many of our people are being directed away from literacy and divine guidance, which is held in so-called holy books. So it's going to be very interesting. You know, you can check us out at lionsofallah.info. This is what we do. We speak truth to power, and I'm ready to get this information out to the people so we can.
Hold on 1 second. We had a little technical issue there. Hold on, Imam. Hopefully you can hear me real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Imam, if you hear me, come on. Little technical difficulties already. Summer special. Imam, can you hear me? Imam, can you hear me, brother? Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. There we go. Yeah, man. Had a little technical difficulties here and there. But once again, man, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on. I don't know, is it on speakerphone? I'm hearing a little feedback. Is it on speakerphone?
Yeah, I got you. I got it straight now. Yes, sir.
All right, not a problem, brother. All right, so all right, we're about to get this thing started, people. And again, for those that's joining in, today's debate is entitled, Are Holy Books Necessary? Are Holy Books Necessary? So it's going to be Chief X versus Imam Bashir. And again, this is the show where you can listen to the audience will call in with your questions and your comments by that number, 646-716-7320. As a matter of fact, I see people pressing number 1 already that's familiar with Debate Talk for You. You know, we have a lot of callers that call in, and I'm going to go down in order and take your questions. So if you know you're going to have a question, you can press number 1 right now and stand by for the public Q&A, and I'm going to go down in order on the switchboard and take your questions. But it's all about about you calling in, guys. So feel free to call in with your questions later on during the public Q&A segment of this debate. So we're going to get it started, guys, but of course I got to go through the debate format before we begin. Of course, we're going to start off with the opening statement. That's going to be 8 minutes each. Once we get to the 2-minute mark, you're going to hear this sound. That means there's 2 minutes left of your time. And once your time is totally up, you're going to hear this sound. All right, that's the sound you'll hear. After that, we're going to have a rebuttal. That's going to be 6 minutes each. And after that, we're going to have a second rebuttal. That's going to be 6 minutes each. And we're going to have a third rebuttal. That's going to be 6 minutes each. After that, we're going to have the cross-examination. That's going to be 8 minutes each. Now, each person is prepared several questions to ask one another. Due to time constraints, the maximum amount of time to answer a question will be 1 minute, guys. Once again, due to time constraints, the maximum amount of time to answer a question will be 1 minute. Once you go over the 1 minute mark, you're going to hear this sound. All right, that's the sound you'll hear. In the process of asking the question, please make your questions brief as possible. The person on the receiving side, when you ask questions, please save your questions for when it's your cross-examination time. Again, there's no foul language, guys, on Debate Talk for You. That's an automatic disqualification. Let's keep it clean, keep it professional. Of course, I'm going to do my best to moderate. And please speak one person at a time so the listening audience and I can gain full understanding. I repeat, please speak one person at a time so the listening audience and I can gain full understanding. After that, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission break. Let the gentleman relax, get some more notes. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to come back after that with the public Q&A. That's where you, the listening audience, will call in with your questions and your comments by dialing that number, 646-716-7320. Again, that goes for you as well, listening audience. There's no foul language once you call in. Please show respect for my special guests as well as special guests. Show respect to the listening audience. Of course, due to time constraints, everybody has limited time to ask the question. And, of course, again, like I said, it's all about the listening audience getting answers to their questions. And hold on 1 second. Everyone has limited time to ask the question unless I believe the dialogue is needed for edification purposes. And then we're going to go to the final statement. That's going to be 6 minutes each. Just a reminder, when you're inside the Lion's Den, be prepared to answer any and all questions. Keep in mind that your lack of making your answer clear or not answering questions may affect your credibility. Once inside the Lion's Den, please, no excuses during the debating process. You must earn your respect. Remember, it's not about winners or losers. It's all about the people learning from the information you provide. I want to inform both special guests the Lion's Den has been created for us to settle all things right here in a professional setting. Let's not lose respect by taking things personal inside or outside of the forum via social media, email, etc. We here at Debate Talk Radio do not encourage our opponents to boast or seek vainglory in any way, shape, or form. Be mindful we have a listening audience seeking credible information for edification purposes. We should all maintain our integrity and leave the Lions Den tonight with honor. With that being said, let's get this show started. Let's get it on the road. Being that Chief X, that's some of the rules here on Debate Talk for You. If you put a challenge out there, you have to go first. So we're going to start off with Chief X. He's going to start off this debate. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. Let me open up Chief X phone line. Let me set up the timer, and you can go ahead, brother.
This is actually, like Bashir said, not a debate. It will be intellectual child abuse. And the topic is, are holy books necessary? My stand in argument is that they are not necessary in no way, shape, or form. Okay? I'm Chief X, the God Best reincarnated, and the God Best was a ancient Nile Valley deity who had lion attributes. And as I say when I come on the show, and Sal says we're in the lion's den. I'm the alpha lion here. And Imam Bashir has been encroaching on my territory. Okay? So we're going to set the record straight tonight, and I'm going to kick this common sense science. Okay? Now, first of all, let's start off. What is a holy book? Sometimes they call it religious text. So the definition of a holy book is religious text, also known as scriptures, scripture, holy writ, or holy books. They are texts which various religious traditions consider to be sacred or central to their religious tradition. Okay? In that definition, it says that those religious people in their religion consider, keyword, them to be sacred, or some say truth in it. It didn't say this is history, or these are the facts, or the evidence, or the proof. It is just something these people consider to be sacred, or sacred to their central religious tradition. Okay? Now, the holy books I'm speaking on, because there are many different books, but let's just keep things common sense and plain for the people out here. I'm talking about the books of the three world major religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Okay? Basically, the Bible and the Quran. Are they necessary? Okay? The Quran, the definition of the Quran, literally means the recitation. That's what Quran means, the recitation. It's the central religious text of Islam. When did the Quran hit the scene? What was on the scene before the Quran? The Quran just recently hit the scene. Okay? Muslims believe the Quran was revealed verbally by God to Muhammad through an angel named Gabriel. Gradually, over a period of 23 years, beginning in the 22nd of December, they got a full date for this, beginning on the 22nd December in the year 609 A.D., not B.C., A.D., when Muhammad was 40 years old, and concluding in 632 A.D., the year of his death. Okay? So this is a book that just hit the scene in the 7th century. Okay? Muslims believe the Quran is the final authority and last revelation. Fact. If it's the last revelation, that means it was revealed, as it said, to Muhammad in the late 600 A.D. Recently. Johnny come lately. Now, the Bible is a Greek word which means biblios, basically means books. Bible means books. It's a collection of texts sacred in Judaism and Christianity. There is no single Bible, and many Bibles with varying contexts exist. Various religious traditions have produced different recensions with different selections of texts. Okay? So the Bible, approximately 1 BC, is when it began to become compiled. Now, mind you, the Bible and Quran are all AD literature. They're not ancient at all. Okay? The Bible was divided into chapters in the 13th century by Stephen Langston. And into verses, it was divided in the 16th century. You're talking about 1500, year 1500, by a guy, a French printer named Robert Estienne, and now usually cited by book, chapter, and verse. Okay? The oldest extant copy of a complete Bible is in early 4th century. We're still talking AD literature. In the 4th century parchment, book preserved in the Vatican Library and known as the Codex Vaticanus. Oldest copy of the Tanakh is in Hebrew and Aramaic, dates in the 10th century A.D. The oldest copy of a complete Latin Vulgate Bible is the Codex Amantimus, dating in the 8th century. Okay, now we have to think and use some common sense. All Johnny-come-lately literature. So if these books just hit the scene in AD times, common sense says it wasn't necessary before that. The people were fine and had morality before that. The people were educated, had moral values and things before these two books hit the scene. These books were never, ever necessary. Okay? Now, the Bible is a book of literature. We can no longer even say biblical history because there's no such thing as biblical history. There's only biblical literature. Okay? It's written in Old English, which is a poetic form of speaking for entertainment purposes. Like Shakespeare, Othello, Old English, ye, thou shalt. They're entertaining the people. We're not here to be entertained. It's written in Old English. The people didn't speak that way. They just wrote it that way in the form of Old English, and it's a form of entertainment. Okay? So the books are new to the planet. Prior to those books, we were building pyramids, temples, and tombs. People living and eating good, had education on all things in life. They knew medicine, time. The books didn't come along and change anything. Actually, they made things worse. Because it's a book of allegory and symbolism. Those books didn't teach humanity anything that humanity didn't know previously. It's not one thing you can quote out the Bible or the Quran and tell the people that the people did not know previously and cannot, and I can prove that they knew whatever you say these books revealed. These are facts. Are they necessary? No. Are they?
All right, guys, 8 minutes is up. That was Chief X with his opening statement. Again, this is Debate Talk for you. The title of this debate, are holy books necessary? Are holy books necessary? My special guest is Chief X versus Imam Bashir. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. Later on, we're going to hear from the listening audience out there during the public Q&A, but we're still in the opening statement part of this debate. So now, let's go to Imam Bashir with his opening statement. Once again, that's 8 minutes each. So let's go to Imam. He'll open up his phone line, and you can go ahead, brother.
I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed Satan, and we begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious and merciful. If you don't subscribe to the name of Allah, this is fine. Yahweh, Nebuchadnezzar, anything referring to the Most High Creator is acceptable in our opinion. Today we're talking about, are holy books necessary? And I just want the listening audience to know, I'm going to put some powerful information out, and don't think for a moment we're going to let our dear brother, Chief S, slide with his opening statement. I'll get that and clean that up on a rebuttal, guaranteed. But the context of the topic is, are holy books necessary? Now, if we just analyze what holy actually means, holy is something that one could be godly or one could be considered sacred text. So these are two different definitions of holy. And of course, we know books is a compilation of writings given to the people for the sole purpose of passing on information. Holy book. When we understand the concept of holy books can be something sacred. And a lot of times we get these images in our head, and when we say holy, we automatically assume that it must be the Bible or the Quran that they were speaking about. But the definition of holy in itself denotes that it is something that is godly for one definition or something that is sacred. And it can be both sacred writings or sacred texts. But I'm going to go into real quick the importance of just reading sacred writings or sacred texts, because literacy is something that is very powerful, and it's something that the human brain needs in order to create beautiful things as we see being created or have been created in the past. So there's a correlation between literacy and the well-being and the development of the people, and this does not even include the moral and ethical codes that is inside these texts called the Bible or the Quran. But first, let's just speak of literacy, since we're dealing with a type of book. You will understand. Now, in understanding the importance of literacy, we see that statistics say 14% of children in lower income homes rarely or never read books for the pleasure of just reading the book. We know that there's a direct correlation with what it means to be literate versus illiterate. So we know that a person that is illiterate have a less chance of being able to comprehend, being able to create, being able to interpret, being able to communicate, being able to identify, or have the ability to use critical thinking skills and to be able to project themselves into a futuristic thinking by sharing information with other people. So literacy is directly connected with our well-being. And since we, once again, talking about a specific type of book, nonetheless, it is a book, which is a part of the world of literacy. This is the reality that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with if you believe in the Quran or if you believe in the Bible. We'll get to that later. But right now, we're just dealing with, here's a book. Can you read it? Now, if we look at the conditions, this is real-time information. If you look at the condition of our community, you can look at the condition of the entire United States, but let's go in particular the so-called black community. We see 54%, approximately 55% of so-called African Americans graduate from high school, and that is 3/4 less than what whites or Asians, how they graduate. So the black man is behind in education for many different reasons, but we're talking about the importance of literacy in itself. We also understand that according to statistics, African American male students in grades K through 12 were 2.5 times as likely to be suspended from school in 2000 as whites. When we know there's a lot of things playing its part in this, but literacy is one of the great ones. So when we go to understanding that those that do not educate themselves by reading, they are susceptible, extremely susceptible to crime. They're extremely susceptible to fall into the traps of death and destruction because they will not read. Now, our brother wants to tell us about what types of books, because he said the Bible and the Quran. But it's mighty strange that he claims Kemet ideals, but yet You have Teti, the first pyramid, which have the pyramid text, the sacred religious script on the wall. Those people knew themselves how important it was to create and to read. And this is how they were able to build. This is how they were able to create through the art of writing. So we know that before writing came into existence, we can see perpetual writing, the beginnings of writing, and how it evolved into the writings that we have today. But the people understood the importance of it and the importance of sharing information with people inside the book. So, Teddy, the first pyramid, holds sacred text, which is called the oldest book in the world, religious text. And they also was religious. But it's not about being religious, really. It's just we don't want your book. The other books are fine. It's just your book we don't want. And this become a theological issue, but not an issue of are holy books necessary, because they aren't necessary, because reading the moral and ethical code in itself liberates the people. Whenever
All right, guys, once again, that was Imam Bashir with his opening statement. Again, this debate is entitled, Are Holy Books Necessary? Are Holy Books Necessary? Again, the number is 646-716-7320. We're going to hear from the people later on during the public Q&A. So now that we got the opening statements out the way, we're going to go to the rebuttal part of this debate, and that's going to be 3 rebuttals during this debate summer special. So we're going to start off with the first rebuttal. We're going to go back to Chief X, and it's going to be 6 minutes each. We'll open up his phone line. Chief X, go ahead with your rebuttal, brother.
Thank you, sir. Chief X, the God best, reincarnated back at you, bringing some more of this common sense science. And like I said, this will be some intellectual child abuse. He did not really touch on the topic because he really can't. What he gave us just now was a social studies class about literacy. Okay? And I picked this topic because I knew it was irrefutable. But he didn't have the insight to know. Now check this out. They call the book scriptures. Short for a script. When you write a play, you write a script. You don't write facts, evidence, proof. You write a script. That's what scripture is, a script written by men. Not a sky daddy. Sky daddy don't have a pen and paper. Men write. Okay? Now, first of all, I can pretty much close this case with a simple statement. Before anything, whether it was the pyramid text, which is the oldest sacred so-called text, before anything was written down, where was it? It was in man's mind. It was innate in him before he took a pen or carved it or wrote on any paper, papyrus, or any of that. It was in his head, innately. Because you don't need a holy book to put you on the right path or to teach you anything. We get that through oral tradition from our parents. I knew it was wrong to stick my hand in fire because my mama told me I'm going to get burned and it's going to be painful. If I tried it, I would have experienced that pain. This is simple life and nature. Okay? So, what we have in our mind to teach us right, not to teach us right or wrong, it's innate already. It's called a conscience. Not conscience, conscience. Science, conscience. Your conscience tells you yay or nay, innately, in you. Your conscience is an inner feeling or voice viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. It's innate in us, not outside of us. In some literature, it's innate in us. Conscience is an aptitude, faculty, intuition, or judgment that assists in distinguishing right from wrong. Common metaphors for the word conscience include the voice within or the inner light. Everything is pointing to what's in you as a man, as a human being navigating through this thing we call life. My conscience tells me not to bust an old lady over the head with a bat. It's something in me says that's wrong to do. I can behave devilish, I can behave godly. If I want to behave godly, I'll help the old lady across the street and help her with her groceries and make sure she's safe. It's in me to be devilish or it's in me to be godly. I don't need a book or a holy book to tell me that. The topic of the debate is, are holy books necessary? So I'm trying to tell you it's innate in you. Before one can read, when you're a child, your mother and father, your grandparents tell you what's right from wrong and instruct you. That's basically called oral tradition. You weren't born with a book to tell you what to do. A dog don't need a book on how to be a dog. It's natural. A monkey don't need a book on how to be a monkey. It's natural. A tree isn't made of wood. It is wood. A rat, a bat, a cricket don't need a book on how to be any of that. And we're supposed to be more advanced than them. We're more advanced than them because of our mind. And our mind is in us. We put what's in us outside of us and write it on paper. We didn't have to write it. But just sometimes we like to write and put our thoughts down on paper. That's all. And what's in the Bible, the Quran, the Tanakh, and the Torah, and all these holy books is literature, stories, and allegory. I can do without a flood story. The whole earth flooded, which it never did. I can do without burning bush stories. I can do without all those stories and events that are taught out of these holy books. I can do without them. It makes no difference in my life. It's not a fact, proof, evidence. It's not going to put food, clothing, or shelter on my table. The holy books have nothing to do with food, clothing, and shelter on your table. It has nothing to do with getting a job, getting education. I can't read a Bible or Quran and learn how to do brain surgery. I have to go outside of those books and go to school, register for school, take classes, read other material, and learn how to do brain surgery. The Bible doesn't teach me any of that. I don't need it. I don't need a Quran. You don't need a Quran.
Again, that was Chief X with his first rebuttal inside the Lions Den. This is Debate Talk for you, summer special, and I know you guys enjoying this debate. Hopefully you guys taking down some notes, because again, we're going to go to you later on, listen to the audience, and hear what you guys got to say. Again, the title of this debate, are holy books necessary? Are holy books necessary? The number is 646-716-7320. So let's jump right to Imam Bashir with his first rebuttal of this debate. And again, it's 6 minutes each. Imam Bashir, you can go ahead.
Peace, yes. The only thing that got me upset about that last thing was you played the roar. I think it should have been a little pussycat. Meow. Because you think you did something. But listen, because we're not in tune with reality. We're not in tune with reality. And unfortunately, my brother Chief S is not in tune with reality. Because the very society, the very culture that he is claiming have thousands and tons of religious sacred texts. So it shows that he has a bias against other sacred texts, but those texts is considered holy books. Do y'all understand me? Then our brother throws in Sky Daddy. He's talking about this Sky Daddy, but then the very culture that he claims have Sky Daddy all over the place. Nebuchadnezzar created the heavens and the earth. Nebuchadnezzar created Kephara out of the waters of the primordial waters of noon. Kephara then spewed forth the moon, the stars, the earth, the planets, etc. So we can go into that all day, but that's theological. This is not a theological discussion right now. It's the concept of are holy books necessary? Now our brother goes and says, we don't need these books. We don't need these holy books. But what he's really saying is that we don't need books at all, holy or not, if you listen to what he's saying. But nevertheless, holy books are a type of book, and books are for the literacy of the people, to educate the people, to train the people. He's talking about the stories. Although the stories, a lot of them are allegorical, some of them are literal, etc., but there's a moral to the story. Now, the reality that we're living in, this reality, is that one person is murdered every 31 minutes. So, within the parameters of this show, 6 people will be murdered out of ignorance. Now, one person is going to be raped every 1.9 minutes. So 342 people will be raped by the end of this very show that we're on right now. We have one home that will be burglarized every 18 seconds. And by the end of the show, 540 people will be burglarized. 540 establishments or places of confinement, office, homes, etc. will be burglarized before the end of the show. Larceny, theft. One home is victimized by a thief every 4.8 seconds. Every 4.8 seconds. And by the end of the show, 750 larcenies would have been taking place. Look at the condition of our black homes. Look at 75% of our black women running single-family homes. And yes, some of them are widowers, but the majority of them fell victim to promiscuity. Now, these very holy books that we're talking about tell you that what does it profit a man to gain? What does it profit man to gain the world and lose his soul? Because many of our brothers are so caught up on getting the money, they'll sell drugs to their mothers, they'll sell drugs to their daughters, they'll sell drugs to their aunties, their neighbors, when we teach in the holy book to love thy neighbor. So since we are catching hell in our community, since death and destruction is upon us in our communities, it appears to me that the people need the holy book, in particular the Bible and the Quran, more than ever, because they can't even socialize correctly with one another. And let's tell you another thing about common sense. Common sense is subject to change according to the environment that you are in. So in other words, if you are in one community, what may be common may not be common in the next community or the next country over. So the common sense that we need to know is that we are out here catching hell, our families are destabilized, people are stealing from one another. I'm not talking about bank robbers and all that. I'm talking about the typical person will steal from their job just to try to survive. They will go get interest that puts them in debt, buying homes where they got 30-year mortgages. Interest got to be paid first before the principal is even paid, which is killing the people for our holy text that he's trying to say we don't need. It tells us to stay away from those things. So I would agree with him when the majority of our people understand that we have to wake up, clean up, and stand up. Once we do that, I would agree with you, brother, that we will no longer need the books because now we became a manifestation of the book. But the book is always there to be a reminder. That's why the Quran itself, what you don't know, my brother, the Quran itself is more than a text. The Bible itself is more than a text. But in particular, the Quran is a book that is recited because we hold it in our head by memorization. We remember the verses. Why? So we can always hold fast to the rope of this God Daddy that you're talking about, that your very culture believes in as well. So
All right, that was Imam Bashir. Once again, this is Debate Talk U Summer Special. The number is 646-716-7320. Holy books necessary. We're going to hear from you, the listening audience, later on what you guys think about this debate. Who's making the better points here? Is it Chief X or is it Imam Bashir? You decide. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. We're going to go to the second rebuttal part of this debate. And again, it's going to be 6 minutes each. But before I go there, let's let you guys know a little bit about the schedule. On Monday, July 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have William Bell here for the first time, live on Debate Talk for You, presenting a lesson to the people out there. And the lesson is entitled, Is Christ's Second Coming Past or Future? Is Christ's second coming past or future? Again, remember, you can call in with your questions, your comments at any given time on any part of the show, any segment of Debate Talk for You. So, again, that's going to be Monday, July 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have William Bell here for the first time right here on Debate Talk for You Radio. And on Tuesday, we're going to have Dwayne Barton here. That's Tuesday, July 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the title of his lesson is called The Fruit of the Spirits. The Fruits of the Spirit. So Dwayne Bond is going to be here live on Debate Talk if you're ready. I'm going to fill you in later on, guys, as we go along. But let's get into the second rebuttal part of this debate. We're going to go back to Chief X. Again, it's 6 minutes each. Let me open up his phone line. And Chief X, you can go ahead.
Chief X, the God best reincarnated, back at you with some more common sense science. And let me kill all that rhetoric and emotionalism that he was displaying with a few simple statements. Okay, first of all, he begins to talk about this culture I embrace. I'm not a comedic. I started off the show telling people that I'm a student of life. Okay, I only study ancient African history, whether it's West African history or Eastern history, and Nile Valley history as a hobby, because it's part of African history. So I study it as a hobby, and I study Nile Valley civilization. I'm not that. I study it because it's part of our history only. So it's not religion to me. Now, he begins to talk about mass murderers, and we need these reminders, and single mamas around, and all this old killing, and all this destruction going on, so we need these books. But guess what? All this killing and hell and the destruction was going on before the books was here. Fact. The book hasn't changed anything. In fact, the God of both them books has been doing the killings in the books. The Christian God drowned 1-month-old babies, 2-month-old babies, 3-month-old babies, and their mama, and their daddies, and their old 90-year-old grandmamas in the flood. God said in the Christian book, I'm going to flood the earth. And he killed innocent babies who were innocent and didn't do nothing. He killed elderly people. He killed mamas. So in the book, he was mass murdering. The people who actually existed on earth was killing and murdering. They're killing and murdering today, and that's going to continue to go on. You know why? Because religion is the biggest divisive force on the planet, and always has been. All these wars are behind religion and control of resources. My God is better than your God. My penis is bigger than your penis. I'm right, you're wrong. And they're all wrong and off course and on the wrong path. I'm trying to get people on the right path. When we get rid of these books, then we can get into some real spirituality instead of fairy tales. When we get rid of these books, we can get on the true path of nature and what's innate in us and progress and develop social political programs to progress a people. Okay? All religion and holy books were brought to black African people by their conquerors. When the Romans entered ancient Egypt or Africa, they stole spiritual concepts, left up out of there, and developed Christianity. That's why they call it the Roman Catholic Church. Constantine, the first emperor of Christianity. When the Arabs came into Africa, they stole spiritual concepts. And then Islam developed. The Quran didn't come out till 680, 7th century, after touching Africa. All these nations and all these religions started after they touched Africa, and in Africa these religions weren't there before. We didn't have these Qurans and Torahs and Bibles. We was doing fine. Before the Native Americans got touched with missionaries, Europeans, and religion, they were thriving and fruitful. What happened to the Native Americans after religion touched them and Europeans touched them and missionaries touched them? Where are they now? They're dead. The religion, the books, the holy books, and European Arab theology, that when they touched them, they died. Same with the Africans. King James Version Bible came out, guess what happened? Atlantic slave trade jumped off. They lost Africa and began to fall down on a lowly path. Quran came out, the Arab slave trade happened. Africans got enslaved from 700 all the way up to 1500, even continuing today. All because of religion. When those books touched all native peoples of the land, destruction came upon them from those books. Destruction's in them books. It talks about you've got to put a difference between the African and the Jew. Okay? It began separation. These are facts. Nothing I said can be disputed or refuted. Okay? We need to get on the right path. Practical things. Food, clothing, shelter, unity. These books, these holy books, have distracted from that. Yeah, they teach good moral teachings and things like that. All holy books have good moral teachings, but moral teachings were around before the book came out. But you have to have some cheese on the trap, so it's going to tell you.
Once again, we continue with the summer special, guys. I see we have a lot more people calling in. And again, if you press number 1, stand by. We're going to get to you guys during the public Q&A. Let's press it one time, and then when we get to the public Q&A, I'm going to go down in order and take your questions. And again, I appreciate the people that's listening live via phone and via Skype. By dialing that number, 646-716-7320. If you want to listen on Skype, you can press number 1 as well, and then stand by for the public Q&A. I see people pressing number 1 already, so I appreciate you guys. Press it one time. Don't press it again. If you press it again, it's going to bring you at the bottom of the switchboard. We're getting close to the public Q&A part of this debate. But right now, we're going to go to Imam Bashir with his second rebuttal. Again, that's 6 minutes each, so we open up the phone line. Imam, you can go ahead.
All right. You see, once again, we're not in reality. My brother is not in reality, and the people that think like that is not in reality. So the first thing is, our brother should have named it, well, is the Quran or the Bible necessary? But the topic is, are holy books necessary? So he should have named it, is the Bible or Quran necessary? Because that's all he's doing, is trying to attack the Bible and the Quran. So he's not even on par with the course. He's only giving you half of it. But like I said, the civilizations and the cultures that he study and replicate, when he's rocking the Ark, when they talking about Heru, these stories have exactly it's another form of what we call the Bible and the Quran. And it's all over African culture. But nevertheless, holy books are necessary. Let's get back to reality. Our brother says he's a student of life. He's a student of life. In order to be a student of life, you have to do more than just look at the stars and look at some trees. Because they pass the knowledge and the information in the books so the people will not forget. The people will not forget. And then, so in his arguments, he's even wrong about his direct attacks on the Bible and the Quran. He's wrong about his historic implications of these creating wars, etc. Because nobody created more wars than the white man. This is factual and this is true. Nobody created more death and destruction than the white man. Nobody is falling into the trap of religion as they want you to see, but rather they fall into the trap to white supremacy and European philosophy. But if they were reading the books of the Bible and the Quran in particular, we would be able to see that the Europeans is your enemy. They'll be able to read it. They'll be able to comprehend it. They'll be able to see their enemy right in their face. But the majority of the people in the United States of America, majority of our people, the so-called black man and woman, they attach themselves to a Bible, but if you go in their house, their Bible is somewhere with cobwebs on it, and if you go and follow their life, you would say to yourself, Jesus, you just don't follow nothing in the damn book. So if they were following the book as they profess, they will not be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children by 8 different baby daddies. This is reality. They will not be committing the fornication and adultery that's proven to be death and destructive because they're not committing a contract with the one that they are being intimate with. So they are acting on their nature, which is to have sex, to procreate, but they're not acting on their higher frequency of knowledge and consciousness and God consciousness in particular, because they don't know that they must be civilized and they must make a contract with one another and an agreement so everyone has their own rights and accountability and responsibility. But if they was reading the book, they will not fall into that trap. If they were reading the book and the text that you're talking about, the Bible and the Quran, they will not cuss out their neighbor. They will not have their 3-year-old, 4-year-old girls twerking and putting the videos on YouTube and Facebook for the world to see. If our men were reading the book, they'll be taking care of their women. They'll be protecting their women. But since they are detached from the books that they profess, we must conclude logically and rationally. I'm not talking about common sense now because that's subject to change, but logic and ration will always remain. So he says the books haven't changed anything. But the book itself is only a tool to activate the manifestation of God in you. So you are to become the walking book. But because you don't read the holy books, you don't read the sacred divine guidance in that text, you don't understand it. And that's why if we put a magnifying glass on you so-called students of life, we'll find that you've fallen in the same death and destructive trap. Except you understand that a tree has chlorophyll and the nigga in the street don't understand that. But yet you put the mind of, I ain't talking about Chief X personally. Talking about this people that's talking about stay away from the Bible and the Quran. If our people come back to their holy text, if they go back to their Bible that they profess, and if they live the commandment, you will see a change in the people. And the white man did not even allow us to read no books, the Bible included, the Quran included. It was illegal because he wanted to keep us dumb, deaf, and blind. We, black people, raise up, attached to your divine guidance from your ancestors that are ancient, and we will make change for ourselves and for the better. And all of the black revolutionaries that came, they always had a book with them. And they may have had a gun too. So these are facts and realities in our community today. Our community is in dire need of direction and of guidance. And their holy text is right in front.
It's getting hot in here. It's a debate talk for you summer special. Once again, I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and the number is 646-716-7320. We're going to go to the third rebuttal part of this debate, and after that, we're going to go to the cross-examination part of this debate, where both opponents have prepared some questions to ask one another directly. We're going to, start it off real soon, but again, I appreciate it. We have a lot of people calling in. Wow. We have a lot of people calling in. Again, if you want to ask a question, let's press number 1, and we'll add to the conversation, but you got to stand by for the public Q&A part of this debate. Just to go down the schedule, some more shows that's coming up next week right here in the summer special, Debate Talk for You. Let me see what's here. On Wednesday, Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have Sister Abinette right here on Debate Talk for You, and she's going to present a lesson called The Evolution of Consciousness and Spirituality of African People in the USA. I repeat, The Evolution of Consciousness and Spirituality of African American People in the USA. So once again, Sister Abinette is going to be here for the first time presenting a lesson to the Debate Talk for You listening audience. So that's going to be Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On Thursday, July 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have the Roundtable episode 16. We're going to have the Hebrew War Machine in the house. Once again, we're going to have the Hebrew War Machine here. We're going to have Zion Lex, Ron Divine Prospect, Mikael Ben Israel. We're going to have Demo Fulton. We're going to have Mikael Edwards. And more people from the Hebrew War Machine. It's going to be entitled Hebrew War Machine Assembled. So again, if you want to reach out to the Hebrew War Machine, make sure you call in right here on Debate Talk for You on Thursday, July 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have Nasi Ashabel. Again, it's going to be one of those classic roundtable shows. So again, that's going to be the Roundtable episode 16. And make sure you be here Thursday, July 23rd. But let's get this third rebuttal going on right now. So we got to go to Chief X. Chief X, you can go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Chief X back at you. Check this out. So, my good brother, Imam Bashir, some respect. But he gets to mentioning again about me rocking ox and embracing his Kemetic life and culture. And I told him I studied it out of a hobby, okay? I rock an ankh because an ankh means life. I've already said I'm a student of life. The symbolism in the deities in the ancient Nile Valley are representations of life. They're representations of deities in nature. It's Egyptian mythology to explain a deeper meaning that we don't have time to go in right now. Okay? It's a difference. We don't claim that Osiris and Horus and Isis were actual people who walked the planet. We plainly tell people that it's mythology. and their meaning behind them names. We know no man walked the planet Earth with the head of a hawk on his head, walking around with a big old hawk head. Okay? So the difference is we tell people it's mythology and it's an explanation of life. And these are personifications of nature. But in the Bible Quran, they teach that these characters and things are actual people who walked around the planet Earth. And these events are actual events that happened, like the whole world flooded at one time. This whole ball of earth flooded at one time, which is impossible because we have stuff called gravity. If it flooded in Texas, don't mean it's going to flood in California. The whole world cannot flood at one time. So if a child grows up with mythology and false teachings and living under the umbrella of a lie, his life will turn into a bunch of baloney and crap. Okay? You cannot live life and progress in life under the umbrella of a lie. Things will go wrong. Okay? Holy books in religion are used for political purposes, for control of people's minds. Okay? If you want to get back control of your mind, you have to let these books go. All these murders and babies' mamas and things that he's talking about and all this homosexuality that was going on, before the books came out, wasn't no baby daddies and baby mamas. Africans wasn't playing that. Now that the books come out, there are baby daddies and baby mamas and homosexuality, just prevalent. These books haven't helped. Every mass murder and all this affliction he's talking about, all the mass murderers were religious zealots. Charles Manson was a religious zealot. Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma, these are religious zealots. KKK are crazy kooks. They're religious zealots. The books didn't help them. The books didn't help the Native Americans. The books didn't help African Americans. They failed us. Okay? I started off saying what changed my life, and I said this when I entered introduction. I said what changed Chief X's life. I was sitting up in a drug program, an inpatient drug program. And the cook dropped a book on me. And that book was called The Autobiography of Malcolm X. That book changed my life when the Bible never could. I couldn't get with it. I couldn't grip it. Matter of fact, when growing up in the church caused trials and tribulations to happen in my life because I was living under the umbrella of a lie. So I had to get some real life stories, some practical stuff in my mind, in my head, and I identified with the autobiography of Malcolm X because it was something I identified with myself, him being in jail, him using drugs, him stealing, him doing these things and changing and reading and getting education. Knowledge changes, not belief. To know is better than to believe. We learned good things and moral things from our parents. Okay? It's called oral tradition. Moral judgment may be derived from values and norms or principles and rules, not from religious books. Charles Manson and all these mass murderers done crazy stuff because they was religious zealots and they was reading all this mass murder that their God was doing. They was following their God. Get rid of the infidels. Kill the wicked race. Kill the blacks. Kill the Jews. They're a dirty race. All this stuff comes up out of religion. Okay? Knowledge changes people. So we learn through oral tradition from our parents. And that's what was going on before these holy books hit the scene, because Imam Bashir apparently and obviously has forgotten the title of the debate. The title of the debate is Are Holy Books Necessary? Yes or no? I basically proved from my jump from the rip when I opened the statement, are they necessary? Because I told you that they're Johnny-come-lately books in AD literature. And it was right and correct before the books came about. So what has the book changed? We can
Once again, this is the Lions Den. The number is 646-716-7320. Again, who's making a better point here? Is it Imam Bashir? Is it Chief X? Remember, you can call in later on and decide by dialing that number, 646-716-7320. Press number 1, and then we'll add you into the conversation. We got people pressing number 1 already, standing by, patiently for the public Q&A. And we want to hear from the people. It's all about the people for Debate Talk for You. We like to hear from you guys. So make sure you call in and ask your questions, your comments. But let's go to Imam Bashir right now with his third rebuttal, part of this debate. Again, that's 6 minutes. Open up his phone line and go ahead.
Yes, yes. Peace, family, once again. And once again, we have to, forgive our brother because he is definitely sick. This is insanity, what he's talking. The first thing he's talking about is that he read the autobiography of Malcolm X, who accepted the holy book, the Holy Quran. So he's talking about the life of a person who accepts a holy book and was known as a Muslim that follows the Quran, was known to be a supporter of the Bible as well, was known to be a supporter of ancient texts going back thousands of years, whether it is Sanskrit, whether it is ancient texts in Kemet, whether it is ancient texts in Fulani civilization, Zulu civilization, etc., etc. This holy text extends further than the Quran and the Bible. It's holy texts that preceded them. So were the holy texts necessary, and are they necessary? Of course, they're necessary. Because once again, the people, we can see by the actions of our people that they are outside their natural self. And we know that the masses of our people prescribe to or proclaim the Bible. This is pound truth. So if they profess that they are Christian, majority of them, but we know they are not acting Christ-like, and we know they are not manifesting the essence of Moses and their Jesus that they love and adore, and we know that they have the answers to their problems right in front of their face, right when they go into that church on Easter, because most of them only going on Easter and Christmas for the fashion show. This is true. I'm not new to this. We true to this. We know what's going on in our community. If they would pick up their book and really look at it and read it and live it, they'll be much better. Anyone that say different is very foolish and insane. And our brother says that Timothy McVeigh and the KKK, he actually going to use Timothy McVeigh and the KKK as an example of why we should not use holy books. Because the devil held up the book, and then he said, I got it now, and I'm going to go do this wickedness, but I'm going to go burn these crosses and hang some niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? And even the white folks that claim that they are Jews, we know they are not the real Jews, so the book don't even apply to them anyway. So the people that are the lineage of the book, they know or must know who they are. And our brothers say oral tradition. Yes, we must use oral tradition. This is nature. You start speaking first. But if a mother and a father tell our children, don't read books, and don't even read that Bible and that Quran over there either, even though they are a type of book, and even though that you can have a specific book to you or a specific group of writings or a specific script or a specific document that you say is sacred, and you know that it is important to read the sacred literature because there's wisdom in that. Like the Constitution of the United States of America is a sacred document, it's a sacred text. But it's not talking about God at all. Literacy is very important, family. And these books that we have they contribute to the education of the mind, whether you agree with them or not. Because intelligent people, even though they don't subscribe to the teachings of the Quran or the Bible in particular, which I'm not going to let him make this the Quran and the Bible issue, because this is about our holy books necessary. And of course I proved that holy books are necessary. Of course we just did a funeral, in case they ain't know. We just did the burial for this garbage that we don't need our holy books. It's 6 feet deep, and we finishing putting the dirt on right now. Because if our people understand that these texts elevate you, and it's proven, because Elijah Muhammad came, he came with a text, and nobody can deny it, whether they like him or not. He used a book. He used books, Bible and Quran, to liberate and raise up these black men to do what they do. Noble Drew Ali, Malcolm X, and don't forget my brothers that's probably listening on his phone that accepted the Israel doctrine, that accepted the teachings of the Quran, and they went away from the drug dealers. They became good fathers. They became good mothers. They covered themselves up now in modesty. This is what we see when our people grab the book. And we're here to stay, just like we've always been. Because divine guidance has always been passed through different texts for thousands of years. And the Bible and the Quran have its position. And anyone that denies that is only an agent of Satan themselves. Because they are systematically trying to destabilize and trying to put a pathology and inferiority back in the minds of our people.
Alright guys, this is the summer special. Once again, it's Debate Talk for You. You know that number, 646-716-7320. Again, I see we have a lot of people on social media making comments on this debate. Once again, I appreciate you checking out the show via social media. We have people standing by via phone and via Skype, waiting for the public Q&A so they can let their voice be heard live. Again, this is all about the people getting answers to the questions. So if you're listening and you want to chime in and let your voice be heard, feel free to call in. Don't be shy. You know that number, 646-716-7320. Just press the number 1, and then we'll stand by for the public Q&A. So now we're going to the cross-examination part of this debate. That's going to be 8 minutes each. Again, each opponent has prepared some questions to ask one another. And due to time constraints, the maximum amount of time to answer a question will be 1 minute. And once we get to the 1 minute mark, you're going to hear this sound. Once you hear that sound, that means your time is up and it's time to go to the next question. So we're going to start off with Chief X asking questions to Imam Bashir. And again, this is the cross-examination part of this debate. Let's go to Chief X. You can go ahead, brother.
Okay, thank you, Sal. Few questions. Imam Bashir.
Yes. Yes.
Do Muslims believe the Quran is the final authority in last revelation? And if so, doesn't that mean the authority and revelation wasn't here before Quran and Prophet Muhammad revealed it?
Okay. Yes, we do believe the Quran is the last law, the last Sharia, which don't have no context to the thing, but I'll see where you're going with this. And what was the last part?
Oh yeah, the question: do Muslims believe the Quran is the final authority and last revelation? And if so, doesn't that mean that mean authority and revelation wasn't here before the Quran and Muhammad? And
authority and revelation?
Yeah, if it's the final authority.
If you're trying to, well, final authority would signify that there was something previous to it, since it's the final. So all text prior to it, we agree with, and was before the Quran became into existence. So I'm saying that we accept that divine guidance was here prior to the Quran.
Okay.
Right, next question. Yeah, next question.
Right. Okay. So that basically that tells me divine guidance was proper before the Quran came here. Okay, got you. Second question: were the Native Americans fine and at peace before Christianity, religion, and the Holy Book was given to them? And what happened to their population after Christianity, religion, and the Holy Book was given to them?
Okay. First of all, I don't know what you mean was the Native Americans fine prior to the invasion of the Europeans.
Would you like to elaborate?
Know. Now, hold on. No, don't. It's no need to elaborate. What you're trying to do is you're trying to interject the scripture, in particular the Bible, into white supremacy. This is what you're trying to do. So I can tell you, when Christopher Columbus came to these islands and these shores, he wasn't coming in the spirit of God. He was going in the spirit of, let's find what we can get. And when he found those indigenous people, he said, oh, look at these people, these brown people. They so kind. They so nice. Ha, ha, ha. They don't know we about to rob the hell out of them. And I'm going to go back to the queen. We're going to send more ships, and we're going to take over this new world. Because it's a new world. We're taking this over. So, although somebody holds a symbol or claim that they represent a thing, doesn't mean that they are actually replicating or being a manifestation of that.
Wrong bell, but go ahead. Next question, wrong bell.
Yeah. I guess
it's all right because that was the bell when I knocked him out.
Yeah.
the judges were trying to, the ref was like, KO.
I guess Imam Bashir is saying teaching turn the other cheek and love thy enemy is a good teaching for the Native Americans. But anyway. Okay.
But you forgot about the forward verse. That's the thing that's funny. So sometimes it may be good to turn the other cheek, and sometimes it may be good to pull out the sword. But all situations and all sicknesses doesn't require the same medicine.
Rhetoric, but let me go on to my next question. Was the Arab and African cultures illiterate, immoral, and unaware of life and morality before the Bible and Quran? Because if you say they weren't, and like you said previously, they had divine revelations before these books, then, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what good did the books do?
Okay. Well,
because I know you understand Arab and African cultures were illiterate, immoral, and unaware of life and morality, because you said these books teach all these things, and we need them to stop all these baby mamas and baby daddies and strippers and all this old stuff. So, I mean, were they just totally going crazy and immoral before the book?
Brother, see, I'm not going to paint a broad brush and say, oh, these Arabs and Africans, they just were stupid, silly, ignorant, as all of them. No. But you did have a lot of degenerate behavior taking place then as well as now. There's many tribes that hold the tradition of drinking the blood out of the neck of a cow and putting a lips on the vagina of the cow to stimulate the milk and blowing in her vagina and a lot of unclean stuff. And some of the tribes actually practice homosexual rituals amongst the men. So these are the realities that is happening in a lot of those cultures and tribes this very day. And the list goes on and on. But the thing that's being misunderstood is that this is a procession of information being gathered and passed in many different ways.
Yeah. Next question.
Okay. You say this is a progression of information. Okay. And it supposes that you're saying the information prior to these books or this final revelation and final authority wasn't good enough. And it's just boggling how as soon as the Quran come out, the Arabic slave trade jump off. They use these books for political purposes. It's just really confusing to me, and I really don't have a question. I think my 8 minutes is about up, right, sir?
I got you. Let me jump in real quick, because your information is off. Because truth be told, those that are classified as Arabs, they was already going to doing this slave thing way before the Quran was there. They was already participating in invasions in Africa way before the Bible or the Quran appeared. So, there's a little problem there with the information. You made it as if these books came, and as soon as the books came, it was like, let's get to enslaving these niggas. That's not true.
So you have to reach their mind and put some cheese on the trap and get them to submit to something, because a Muslim is one who submits to the will of Allah.
Right.
And the book helps them submit and become submissive, taking away their fighting and rebel spirit. They come up under the law of the religion in the book, and they submit and bow down.
All right, the number is 646-716-7320. This is Debate Talk for You, Summer Special. So we're going to go to Imam Bashir, asking his questions to Chief X, and after that we're going to take a 10-minute intermission break, and after that we're going to go to you, the people out there, to see what you guys got to say. What do you guys think? Again, who's making a better point here? Who's delivering the best information? Is it Chief X or is it Imam Bashir? You decide. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. This person number one, and we'll add you to the conversation to stand by for the public Q&A. So let's go to Imam Bashir. Let me ask this question to Chief X. We'll open up the phone lines, and you can go ahead.
That lion scared him.
Our brother was saying, to be a Muslim, it means you have to submit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing. The people that are detached from the holy books that we're talking about, the Quran and the Bible in particular, the ones that are detached from that, they can't even grasp the God concept, God consciousness concept, which means that they don't even understand what the text is saying, but he doesn't even know that you too must submit, whether you like it or like it not. So everyone must submit, whether they like it or like it not. You must submit to the laws of nature, and something put that in place. Laws of nature just didn't happen, but that's another story. So we should be having another debate, because you're bringing up a lot of things, and you're misfiring. But I want to ask you this. And you're on record, we live. Do you believe, rephrase, do you know that it's a fact that the Quran and the Bible does have, at least at very best, pretty good, decent moral and ethical codes inside them? Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir. It teaches some good things. It does have good moral teachings and good ethical teachings. And again, in order to bring a people in or lure people in or lure a rat in, you have to put some cheese on the trap, or else, you can't lure them in. So those things are there for political purposes. So yeah, it does have those good things. But those good moral teachings that you speak of that are in the book were already known and being practiced.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. Because you fumbled. You were strong at first. Then you just went, you started that tomfoolery buck dancing. But it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
hold on. It's okay. Let's go to the second question. Let's go to the second question. Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as a hostile witness.
No, but one more second, real quick.
Hold up, no, we moving on. Hold up, because time is ticking. I got to get this question out. For real. Now, let's go to this political purpose thing real quick. Let's deal with this real quick. Now, I'm going to set the tone, and then I'm going to ask you the question. Now, in this United States of America, which is the world power of the world, in her society, she promotes alcoholism, she promotes drugs, she promotes, she systematically infiltrates the black community to instill in them low sexual morals. They perpetrate everything that is wicked. They create homosexuality laws that allows them to marry and, hate crimes on them. So it promotes the things that is proven to be most death and destructive. Now, the question is, if we understand, let me put this out there, if we understand that first, let's answer this, yes or no. Do we agree that majority of our people profess Christianity?
The majority, yes, basically about 90% of black Americans embrace it in some kind of form.
Right, yes. So we agree there. So if the political arena is allowing these wicked, death, and destructive behaviors to come into our communities, but the thing that they profess is opposed to that through these death and destruction that they are suffering from in their communities, if the book is opposed to the homosexuality, opposed to the fornication, the adultery, opposed to the lying, the stealing, the cheating, opposed to treating your neighbor bad, if the book itself is going against this political arena establishment and their norms, wouldn't you say that the book would prove to be a tool attacking the establishment?
No, the establishment promotes the books. The establishment.
Wait, I gotta cut you real quick.
Oh,
You're saying. Wait. You're saying. No, I gotta. Go ahead.
Yes, he has a minute to answer. Go ahead, Chief.
All right. Okay.
The establishment promotes the book. They want you to be good Christian and be a sheep following a shepherd. It kills your rebel spirit. They want you to turn the other cheek, like I said before. They want you to love thy enemy in spite of. These books humble you. It's necessary. You have to make a slave, you have to give them a religion. That's how it always have worked. Okay? And you have to tell them some nice things and maybe they can have some hope that in the hereafter, everything will be okay. While they steal and rob and do you wrong now. See, we didn't have the God of the people on the bottom of the slave ship wasn't the same as the God on the people on top of the slave ship. There was a difference.
So, brother, are you telling me that the establishment that has homosexual marriages is promoting the book, the Bible, the people that is setting up these? Does that mean I'm done or I got 2 minutes?
You got 2 minutes left. You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes, bro.
All right, cool. The people that are putting up and building these strip clubs that people, I don't even have a question because that's just foolishness. I can't even ask the question because if you're going to say that they're pumping the book, that which means they're pumping the lessons in the book, they're pushing the teachings of the book, but yet they're saying, go ahead, homosexuals, you can go ahead and get married because this is the Bible in the book. That seemed like deviation to me. That seemed like a logical person would say, obviously they ain't following the book, even if they are holding the book and, at a homosexual marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. It's insane, man. And you have to see that. Because if you can't see that, that shows that you're just being straight biased because you don't want us to follow this particular book. Is that true?
See, I've answered this question 3 times, basically, okay? And this is what I'm trying to tell you. They're hypocrites, okay? The book has no power to change the people. Just like it's a church on every corner in the hood, but then they still crack selling all around the church, in the church, gang banging going all around the church, in the church. It never had the power to uplift the people.
Was Jesus gang banging? I'm asking you, was Jesus gang banging?
Wait a minute. This is why I had to read the autobiography of Malcolm X and get some practical things in my life, some real life stories and knowledge to change me. And by the way, I didn't follow Malcolm X because of his religious perspective. I followed him because of his spirit and his rebel side. Okay?
All right, guys. Once again, I hope you're enjoying this debate. And again, the number is 646-716-7320. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission break right about now. And again, when we come back, we're going to hear from you, the people out there. So this is your time to call in. If you're listening on social media, if you're listening overseas via Skype or via internet, or if you're listening directly on Blog Talk Radio, this is your time to call in with your questions, your comments. Press number 1, and we can add you to the conversation. We have people standing by right about now. I see you guys on the switchboard. We're going to get to you guys in a few minutes. But also, we have the chat room open, guys. I always forget to let you guys, the chat room was officially open. You had to go directly to the website if you want to interact on the chat room with me or the people that's inside the chat room. You have to go to www.blogtalkradio.com/debate-talk-for-you. Click on this debate, Our Holy Books Necessary, and you're going to see a little box at the bottom there. You can chat with me or the people that's inside the chat room. You can even leave your questions in there. If you feel shy to call in, I'll read out the questions to the panel. So right now, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission break, guys. We'll come back. We're going to hear from you, the people out there, during the public Q&A. So don't you go nowhere. Stand by. We're going to take a brief intermission break. Stand by.
Welcome to the planets of debates. Debate Talk Radio.
Yeah, buddy. This your boy LeBron Campbell, a.k.a. Bust the Bible Like a Rifle. I just want to give a shout-out to my man Sal Showtime. Keep doing your thing on Debate Talk for You, where everybody want to hear the best debates around the globe.
Peace and assalamu alaikum. This is Raheem Ali, your expert investigative reporter, checking out the Lion's Den, Debate Talk for You, with your great host, Sal Showtime.
All praises to the Most High Yahweh Eloheinu. This is Mikael, coming straight out of Cali. And when I'm not chasing some demon back to outer space to find another race, I'm listening to Debate Talk for You. Keep pleasing the Most High, Sal. Hebrew War Machine. drop bombs on them.
Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you.
We back.
Debate talk for you.
2015, y'all.
Debate talk for you.
What up, South Showtime?
Debate talk for you.
We about to do it like this.
Debate talk for you.
Come on.
Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you. Debate talk for you.
It's time to debate. You lie, something special, man. Y'all get ready. And you know how we do DB for you, man. It's about to get heavy. With now pouring out like the floodgates open and the water broke 11. Don't you come in here if you wanna act petty. And the snake walking in crawls out on the belly. Now just innocence, we the seed of the woman. We come from the serpent. But it's not our own power, it's given by the Father, man. I'm just a servant. We all wearing garments, covered with the stain of our sin, and we can't get it out with detergent. The message is urgent. Yeshua the Messiah came and died for your sins, just in case you never heard it. Now some wanna say it ever happened that way. He never existed. While others wanna claim he is lame, not Messiah the prophet predicted. When you holler at me, homeboy, you better be real tight with scripture. Cause when I disagree truth, I'm gonna show I ain't arguing with ya. You got Muslims, Moors, atheists, Semitic, everybody trying to get it in. Now Messianics better not have fear when you step inside the line thin. Sad Showtime is the host, and you know he love keeping with him in the mix. So sit back and enjoy the summer special before we start season 6. Y'all know what time it is.
Talk for you.
It's on the Friday is.
Talk for you.
And where they kick that knowledge is.
Talk for you.
And where you crush the dollars is.
Talk for you.
South Showtime.
Debate talk for you.
Got callers on the line.
Debate talk for you.
Okay, what we about to do?
Debate talk for you.
It's
Debate talk for you.
This is
Debate talk for you.
Come on. Y'all know who this is, man. It's your brother, the Doctor in Israel, a.k.a. the guy hopping. Welcome to Debate Talk for You Summer Special 2015. Shout out to South Showtime, man. We about to get it in. Don't walk in the lion's den if you ain't prepared to be like Daniel up in this piece, man. You gon' have faith in God or get 8 to pieces. Real talk.
Hey, what's going on? This is Felix, also known as Enoch, student at Absolute Bible Truth, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Sal Showtime and Debate Talk for You. I'm a frequent listener, been listening since season 1. Keep doing your thing, and for everybody out there who can hear this, send in your donations so Debate Talk for You could go on for a long time. All right, y'all. Peace.
Barukata. Oh, you wanna learn Hebrew? Start with the Aleph Bet, let's teach you. The simple as mic check, 1, 2. I left the top, low as me do. I left. Mighty as an ox, let me bull rush. Head on collision on my way, never out of touch. Obey my house, I ain't playing. Take off your shoes at the door, know what I'm saying? On a camel straight to Hebron, but nowadays chillaxing with my peeps in Compton. Open doors to your mind solid. Stop saying can't if you can't, well stop it. Hey, receive this love like Abraham, and Sarah study more if you don't understand. Wow. Leave you hooked to this melody. Nail it in your thoughts now, low, what you telling me? My weapon of choice, I swing swords. Draw blood first, this is spiritual war. Looking out the window, Detroit red. 2020 vids and spiritual lead. Baruch God. Oh, you wanna learn Hebrew? Oh. Start with the Aleph Bet, let's teach you. Right. The simple as mic check, 1, 2. I left the top, low as me do. Check. Virtuous woman using a basket, walking in the ways every day. I ask this, you let your hand guide her daily, traveling mercies and lead her to safety. Now open your palm and hold your child, allow her to soak in the knowledge right now. And God with the staff like a shepherd, teach the sheep one perfect cup will measure. Water in the kitchen through the chaos, mighty on the stove, let's eat now, Layla. Dreams of fish I must capture, revelation had to spit a rap before the rapture. And support Yasha L, grab the thorns I hate, protect as well. My eyes steady watch so I'm able to know to humble myself and give the highest praise, yeah.
All praises, all honor, all glory to the supreme intellect of the universe. This is Nasi Yashuva of Shomrei HaTorah in Atlanta. And if I'm not reading my Torah or suplexing some false deity, I'm listening to my man, Sal Showtime, and Debate Talk for You Radio. Beautiful. Keep doing the good work, brother, bringing forth the information and spreading that love.
Peace and blessings, family. This is your good, humble brother, Basim, representing the DMV area. And when I'm not holding down my mid-level position in corporate America, I'm tuned into the most respected debate show on the globe. That's Debate Talk for You with the esteemed host, Sal Showtime.
Debate Talk for You.
It's Debate Talk for You Radio. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and I just want to take this time to thank each and every listener out there that's been tuning in from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and all of you that call in while dialing that number, 646-716-7320. You know, it's all about the people getting answers to their questions, and we love the fact that you tune in each and every week. So one love to all the people all over the world that check out Debate Talk for You Radio on your phone, via Skype, or via website at www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. And remember, we're on YouTube as well, so subscribe and support the brand.
Who is this cartoon?
Of a clear view in the right directions where I'm trying to steer you. Yeah, I can see the sheep flocking in. I need the Father's word like oxygen. Babylon trying to box you in. We out here doing work, but we ain't clocking in. Cause we don't get paid by the hour. Low wages, we get paid by his power. And we don't get saved by the dollar. It's only one way to the Father. Even though we was raised with the powder. Stepped on like it's laid by the shower. Slept on some days by the scholars. We just give praise to Yahweh. Got me all amazed with the knowledge. Passing all kind of grades like it's college. Raise your hands if you love your brother. Raise your hands if you love your brother.
is Renald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
All right, guys, we are back. Once again, this is Debate Talk for You, Summer Special. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and welcome to this Debate Talk for You, Summer Special classic debate we got going on right now between Chief X and Imam Bashir. So right about now, this is the public Q&A, guys. This is where you call in with your questions and your comments. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. That's person number 1, and we add you to the conversation. If you're calling overseas, you had to call in via Skype and press number 1. But everybody on social media, just dial that number, and we're going to hear from the people out there. And once again, guys, let guys know, if you didn't hear earlier, there's no foul language. No foul language. You call in, keep it clean, keep it professional, and of course, due to time constraints, you have a limited time to ask your question or your comment. We have a lot of people on the switchboard right about now, and we're going to go to the people out there real soon. Let's let you guys know the next thing on the schedule that you guys keep in mind. Next Friday, we have another debate for the summer special right here on Debate Talk for You. That's Friday, July 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's been a lot of highly anticipated debate for this one. A lot of people were talking about this way in advance. This is a debate that's coming up next Friday, and it's going to be between Brother Sha'ala, who's been here plenty of times debating inside the Lion's Den, versus Zadok Ben Israel, who's a Debate Talk for You veteran, who's been here from Season 2 of Debate Talk for You. And the topic of discussion on that debate will be, can Jesus be found in the Old Testament? Can Jesus be found in the Old Testament? So again, we're going to have 2 Hebrew lions inside the Lion's Den next week Friday, clashing. So make sure you be here live at Debate Talk for You to take down your notes. And again, this is going to be a 2-week special, guys. The 2-week special is going to end July 31st, is the last day. But we have shows from Monday to Friday for these 2 weeks lined up. And again, I appreciate all the callers out there that's checking out the show and everybody on social media. So now, let's go to the people. Let's hear what you guys got to say. Let's go to the first caller and say your name, where you're from, and go into your question. So let's go to the people out there. Let's go to 910-489. You're live on Debate Talk for You Radio.
Hey, Shalom, Sal. This is Devat, Nazir Devat, Amy, or Old Joshua, and I'm calling from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
Nothing much. Okay, so the gentleman, Chief X, the Gentile man, he had so many ridiculous points that I can't really focus on it right now because it would take probably about 2 days to pick apart all the useless jabbing he was talking about. So what I want to do is kind of add to Imam Bashir's understanding that the holy books are important by saying that in the Bible, I mean, above and beyond all the evidence that is clearly, easily researched about any Bible subject, except for one exception would be Jonah and the whale. No one has found any type of evidence of that story, but the rest of the stories, like the flood that he keeps denying, they found the boat, and also geological evidence all over the world, plus over 200 cultures wrote about that very flood. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just want to say, apart from that, the prophecy about the transatlantic slave trade is pretty much what sealed the deal for me personally to make the Holy Book necessary for me. It may not be necessary for you because you ignore all evidence of the books, and that's fine. But I wanted to ask you a question, Mr. Chief X. Let me find this question. I wrote it down right here. Make sure I didn't forget it. Okay. Earlier in the show, you said that you have a God concept. So I want you to describe your God concept, and does it come from your imagination? Does it come from observation and personal experience of your God? Or is it developed from a variety of literature?
Okay.
You can answer.
You finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, he came on the phone opening up, calling me a Gentile. And that means that he's I guess, a chosen one. And I'm lonely and less than, I'm just a Gentile, and he's a Jew. Okay? This is what I mean by the division about religion in books. When two people can be from Compton, California, and one think I'm a Gentile and he's different, that's harmful. That's why these books are dangerous. Okay, now let me answer your question. And when I said flood, I was speaking of the whole earth cannot flood at one time. There can be a flood in Texas, and that's their world flooding, but not be a flood in California. It didn't flood in Africa and Australia and Asia. The whole world didn't flood at the same time. That's what I was saying. Okay, now to answer your question, I have a God concept.
Was that your question for me?
No. I was rebutting to your opening statement because you didn't have a question at first.
What you just rebutted was untrue because, like I said, in the 200 cultures that I was talking about,
I'm trying to
quoted a worldwide flood.
Brother, you're done. You asked your question.
Yeah.
We got other guests on the phone.
Yeah, you can answer, Chief X.
Okay. You started off with some opinions, and I addressed that. Now I'm about to address your question. Okay. Now, yeah, I said I'm a pantheist in the beginning, and a pantheist is one who embraces nature and cosmology and the universe. Okay. I said I'm not an atheist. I'm a pantheist, and I say I'm not an atheist because I have a God concept. Even though I may not believe in a single entity male creator being. So my idea of God is what's in creation. When I look in the mirror, I see God and I see the devil because I have a higher nature and a lower nature. I can do good things or I can do bad things. When I look at the dog, the animal, the lion, the water, fire, air, water, earth, when I look at the elements in nature, all that is part of creation and the essence of creation. So yes, I have a God concept, and that's it.
See, is my mic on?
Yeah, it's on. Go ahead. You can reply.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you ask your other question, but go ahead, Imam. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just want to say the problem is that our brother he really needs the answers to the questions that he has because he haven't read and studied the text that we're talking about, the Bible and the Quran. Because I could tell by the way he's talking, you haven't really studied the text. You're trying to cut and paste information and then put a perspective on it as if that is the right perspective, as if you are studying these texts on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get the answers from the teachers that is here to lead the sheep to the green pastures. That Lions of Allah, Israel, we in the building. Black power.
Let me let 910 continue with his question because we got other callers standing by. Again, 910.
Okay. I just wanted to take the time to congratulate Imam Bashir on his first win in the 2 years that I've been watching him on Sarnetta show. So big up to Sarnetta for finally training you to win a debate because you did excellent. All three of your rounds were different. They had you introduced different information, statistics, and all types of information, whereas Chief X said the exact same thing in all three rounds, including his rebuttals. So, there was no new information that he offered other than the baby information that every new person to spirituality as?
New, huh? Brother, how old are you?
37.
Okay, I'm older than you. I'm not new to nothing. Now, just real quick. And I guess we're going on to the next caller, but you and Amir Bashir got to speak, and nobody else should speak until the next caller comes. Just to let the listening audience know, this show is largely based Hebrew Israelite Christians and religious folk. So I always patiently wait for the question and answer period because 80% of the people calling in are religious based, either Hebrew Israelite, Christian, or Muslim. So I'm ready for the biasness and the disingenuousness from the callers. So bring it on, because this is always Black Power. Next.
All right, this is Summer Special Debate Talk for you. You know that number, 646-716-7320. It's all about the people getting answers to their questions. Again, feel free to call in with your questions. You know that number. Just press number 1, and we'll add you to the conversation. And again, if you're in the chat room, you can just type in your questions in the chat room, and I'll read them out, to my special guests, and I'll get some answers. But let's go to the next caller. Let's go to 315-863. You're live on air.
Hotep, can you hear me?
No. Loud and clear.
Hotep? All right. Well, I'm listening to the debate probably since the second rebuttal. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I seen Chief X's Facebook videos, YouTube videos and things like that, and I've seen Imam Bashir's Facebook videos and stuff like that, so I got a pretty good grasp on both each other's stances. And what I want to say is what I heard this whole time was basically how people have misused the holy books, and now Chief X is mad that they misused the holy books, so now he don't want nobody using the holy books because people took the holy books and they deceived people. So now he's placing the deception within the holy book when the holy book is not the problem at all. It's the people who held the holy book. And are holy books necessary is the topic of the debate. And if anybody with a little bit of honesty within their inner being, or whatever you want to call it, within themselves, just a little bit of honesty, will understand that these holy books are necessary due to the fact that they teach good morals and they have good moral lessons inside of them, and they have standards to which humans should live inside of them that coincide with nature and coincide with good health and coincide with nutrition and coincide with good spirituality and all of these things. So if these books contain all of these things, and this is what our people are lacking, then it should be necessary for our people to have these books. Now, what I would like to say is these people who get these books do need teachers, because not everybody who holds the book understands the book. That's why we have your KKKs and your racist Arabs and your racist Hebrews and any other particular group which holds one of these holy books and are misusing it. So, with that being said, I would like to say thank you to both debaters for coming out. But Imam Bashir gets the nod for this one because if anything teaches you good morals, good ethics, nutrition, health, spirituality, prayer, worship, all of these things, then that's necessary for our people because our people are lacking the morality, they're lacking the civilized, they're lacking being civilized human beings, and they're lacking education to help them progress as a people. These books teach that these rules and regulations are for everyone, not just one specific group. Now, if people don't want to choose these good moral teachings, then that's on them. But the book clearly says that, everybody should eat like this. Everybody should pray like this. Everybody should do this. Everybody should do that. So there should be unity and there should be a balance between all of these books, which are, if people have, the proper education and the proper teachings from these books. These books can definitely guide and help our people. So with that being said, shalom and, good debate tonight. Oh, shout out to Sal, too, for debate talk to you. Brother. I don't really have no questions, just comments. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Chief X, though, you can reply, brother guy.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, the show is largely a Hebrew Israelite Christian religious base, so I understand their sentiments and the rabid denial that they're in from my clearly stated facts. Okay? Now, I've already stated, I think, twice that all holy books have some good moral teachings. They also have some foul, crazy, sick teachings. And we all know that. Let's be real. Okay? But the reason that these books are on the forefront of people's minds is because they're mass-produced. 5 billion Bibles have been, million Bibles have been mass-produced. So in their mind, people just feel that this is just the biggest thing and this is just what we need because of the brainwashing that people have. We know, and let's be honest, the Bible don't teach about no darn nutrition. I can read a Dr. Sebi book and get more about nutrition tenfold than the Bible. I can read Dr. Amos Wilson books on Black Power and unity and get more out of unity, social political issues in 2015 than the Bible. Whatever Paul and these characters is talking about in those days in which these people didn't even exist anyway, does not apply to 2015. Okay? So, yes, they have good moral teachings, and I said that that's the cheese on the trap. I also said that all these moral teachings were here before 600 AD and 325 AD. They've been around. The Bible's not revealing anything new at all. Let's be honest. Okay? They were here and mass-produced to the people for a reason.
All right, let me say something real quick. Let me say something.
Wait a minute. Who's asking to say something?
All right.
Let me just finish one more sentence. The European, the white man, didn't give us the Bible to uplift us. That would be silly. They didn't give the Bible to us to progress us. That would be against everything they were trying to do. Let's be honest here. The book was not given to us, the Native Americans and the Africans, so they can keep their land and own things and have things. We don't own anything now when we accepted the book. Let's be honest about the effect of what happened and stop getting caught up on somebody saying love your neighbor and getting caught up on somebody saying you shouldn't kill. We already knew these things. Let's be honest. Next.
All right, so okay, I'll be real quick. See, this is more smoke and mirrors because the first thing is that the callers that's calling in, they haven't displayed any sectarianism, which is awesome. There hasn't been any, well, it's this, it's that. It's been answering, like, listen, we know the condition our people are in, and they are attached to these books, and if they do activate, and if they do what the text is telling them to do, it will be of great benefit to them because they fall into the trap of accepting homosexuality, of being a thief, a robber, a murderer, a liar. I mean, the list goes on. But our brother says, all these books, it's not necessary. Brother, I'm getting a little headache right now because I'm like, you can't even be serious right now. Like, you may say the books are not necessary for you, and you want to promote that. But the people that are promoting that themselves have a destructive lifestyle because there is really, y'all stand on nothing when y'all talk this madness. It's really, I just do what I want and feel, and I can throw this cloak on it that I am a student of life and I'm an observer of nature. And then you'd be like, what does that really mean? When it comes to interest or river, when it comes to interest alone, how do we deal with that? So there's many things in the text that is extremely important to liberate in the minds of the people. And the number one reason is because they are already professing that they follow these books. But we know they did not activate themselves to follow the laws and commandments, because if they did, they wouldn't be in the position that we are in today. So to deny that is foolish. So I hope the callers still remain objective and not subjective, because this is not about sectarianism. This is not about selecting a particular book. This is about, are holy books necessary? There's holy books I don't agree with, but they are necessary. As long as they are promoting something that I think is beneficial, that's how I select which one I want to follow. But to say that holy books are not necessary, it's just foolish. And, you know, right now, we just visited the cemetery. We already buried it. It's gone. You know, it's over. We just want to come and pay our respects.
All right, guys, we got some more callers standing by. And remember, caller number 5 is going to receive a free LP from Seek Truth, who's a new gospel artist coming out on August 6th. We have a couple copies of that, but we're going to give one away tonight for caller number 5. He's got to email me at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk number 4 and the U at gmail.com, and send me your address, and I'll send it out in the mail. So we're going to go to the next caller, though. It's caller number 3 coming up. Let's go to 773-640. You're live on air.
Shabbat shalom to all the Sabbath keepers. Shalom, brother Sal. Shalom aleichem to brother Basim, and peace to brother X.
Hey, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, man. Long time no hear. I missed you, Sal, man. It's Mikael ben Israel from the walls of Jericho. Y'all know part of the Debate Talk for You team, for sure, baby. It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew War Machine, whole thing. Me and Bashir have had a couple of, bills and dialogues or whatever. And I honestly gotta say, Imam Bashir, I gotta give it to you, bro. You got him. And I came into this non-biased. I only heard like the last part of y'all debate before the comment. Yeah, I gotta say you got down, bro. You got down.
But hold on one second. This is where the disingenuous and the bias come in from religious folks and the Hebrew Israelites on the show. You just stated you only heard the last part of the show, but then you say he got down and done his thing. You should be cut off from even talking right now with that lie. If you didn't hear, if you missed 80% of the show, I don't even know why you call in. Because you missed every point I made. This is just some disingenuous on your part. Don't call in with that. That's disrespectful to the show. It's disrespectful to have an integrity. That is like just the most non-integrity.
I'm the caller right now. I'm the caller right now, brother. Can I get my fair chance?
You can call with integrity.
Hey, Sal, can I get my fair chance to talk, man? Can you move please remove your emotionalism and let me finish? Now, I understand what you're saying, but what you didn't, I said I caught about the end of the show. I don't mean an absolute end. I caught about a good almost hour of the show. And I heard you two dialogue back and forth. And what I'm telling you is, matter of fact, it might have been more than an hour. So let's get out of this.
You're changing up now to cover up with.
Come on, man. Look. This is my whole thing. Don't be a sore loser, because that's what you look like.
Nobody's a loser, matter of fact.
Let me say this, brother. All right, let me say this, brother. I was listening to y'all when I got on.
I don't even know why you're
Okay, well, let me just say, look, yeah, you're
a lot of callers
you're
to
very.
express yourself. You got all day. You got all night. So that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Now, see, this is the problem. Now, I'm going to say this while everybody listening. I understand the brother feel I'm being disingenuous because he feel that I called in at the end and I took up for Imam Bashir. But what he don't know about me and Imam Bashir is we've almost had debate and got into it and everything else. So I didn't come into this thinking that he was going to crush this brother X because I don't even know who brother X is. Don't know your stand until I heard you talking about holy books. And this is what I'm telling you. For one, you need to learn you can never be a debater if you're an emotional. If you're an emotionalist, you will never win a debate. I'm letting you know that right now. Second, I was listening. And one of the points that I wanted to bring up, because I'm tired of hearing it, is that just because there are over 135 flood stories on the earth, that does not mean that the Bible took those flood stories from these cultures. What it does confirm, though, that it was a national flood. That's what it confirms. So the Bible was just put there, or the Israelites were not the first people to understand God either. Let me get that across. But the Israelites were put in a position to edify and confirm and clear up a lot of stuff. That's why the Bible came into play. Now, that's first. Now, let me say this second as it pertains to the debate. This is why you lost, brother. Okay. When he brought up Deuteronomy, right? When Deuteronomy came up, I want to ask you, if holy books are not necessary, they're not necessary, right? But I guess metaphysical books, dictionaries, health food books, all these other books are necessary, but holy books are not necessary. Let me show you where your problem is and why you would never get anybody with some real common sense to ever buy or subscribe to the nonsense that you're speaking. Listen to this. I just want you to hear it, brother. Remove your emotions. Have you ever read Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22?
I'm sure I have. I cannot quote with every verse in the Bible and tell you what every verse is. Okay?
Of course.
Now,
I agree with that.
Read the verse to me.
Okay. I'm going to read it. Okay, I'm going to read this for the audience. And I want you, this is what I'm going to do. I'm reading this for one reason and one reason only. Like Deuteronomy was dropped, I want you to do me a favor. We know for a fact that quote-unquote African Americans are over 75% of the penal institution in this country right now today, and that they're constantly making laws to trap black men for even petty stuff to send them into this institution because a lot of the jails are privatized, therefore they make money off the jails, so they make money off of who we believe to be Israelites. So I'm going to read this to you. And this is 1,000-year-old text before we came over here in America. And when I read this, if you can't find me one other text, whether it's a pyramid text or whatever type of text you can come up with, some writ, or even an oral tradition, since books not important to you, if you can come up with anything that matches this, I promise you, I will go on national radio and say that you the king, you the truth. So I'm going to read this, but I know that's not going to happen. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22, people. Please listen. It says, talking about the Israelites, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. Hold on right there. We were always taught that the white man was a thief. He was a robber. He stole everything. So he's telling you right now that this people was robbed by a particular people and they've been spoiled rotten, meaning we ain't no good no more due to whoever these people is that stole from us. Now watch this. They are all of them snare and holes. When you go to the breakdown of that word, it means traps. So it's been traps set up for these people. Watch this. And they are hid in prison houses. They are, now hold up, hidden prison houses. We are almost 80% of the penal institution. Go look around right now and check it. This don't fit no other people but us. So watch this. And this was written thousands of years before it happened. They are for a prey. Every time you turn on the news, we getting our brains blew out, whether it's by us or by the police, because we like prey for the predator. Watch this. And none delivereth for a spoil, and none restore. Restore. Reparations. We ain't getting them. Stop crying for them. So my thing is, the exact next verse say, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear, for the time has come? Brother, now can you tell me out of any text that you've ever written, take your whole bias of religion off of it. Tell me, can you match a text? Can you find a text that match our people's condition like that, what I just read? Anywhere.
Can I find a text that matches that? Hello? Are you there? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, he's back at.
Yeah, okay. Because what I just read to you was written by the prophet Isaiah. So anybody that even knows anything about it, they would say that it was written, 1,500 years before we even went into the transatlantic slave trade. So can you find anything out there that matches that today to our people? Anything? What?
Now, if you had a tool, are you ready to listen?
Yeah, let Chief X respond. Go ahead.
Okay. If you had paid attention and chimed in at the beginning of the at the beginning of the debate, when I opened up, I broke down to you and to the people when books were revised and changed and made into chapters and verses.
Oh, boy.
I'm not finished. Slow down. I told the people when the Quran came out. I spoke on when the Bible came out and when it was revised and who it was revised by. Okay? Let me read again since you didn't hear. The Bible was divided into chapters in the 13th century. Not thousands of years ago like you said. And it was divided into chapters in the 13th century by Stephen Langston. And divided into verses in the 16th century, not thousands of years ago like you profess, by a French printer named Robert Estienne. Now usually cited by books, chapters, and verses now. Okay? This wasn't no thousands of years ago thing. That's why it's called a version. And that's why the Bible has hundreds of copies and revisions and implementations and adaptations to it. So what you're speaking on is not pure and clean of something that was going on in ancient times. In our African history, we didn't have no jails and prison houses like you're talking about. This is a new thing. We didn't throw, Dr. Clark says, we didn't throw away our elders in old folk home. People weren't in mass prisons. This is a new thing. So, earlier you spoke on the flood and talking about how these different stories are here. I already said that they were floods. You said nationally. I said the whole planet Earth. The Bible says the whole planet Earth flooded. And you cannot find that story anywhere but the Bible. There's not many stories of that. There's no other stories of the whole earth flooding and everybody on the whole planet dying. It speaks of a specific area that flooded. The Bible said the whole earth flooded and everybody in the earth on the planet died. That's lie. That's not written in any inscription anywhere. You don't know what you're talking about.
All right, let's let Imam Bashir jump in. We have 16 minutes on the air, by the way, guys. We have 16 minutes on the air, so we may go into the overtime part of the show. What that means, if you're listening on social media, you have to call in to hear the rest of the show. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. Again, we have 16 minutes on the air, guys. So when the time runs out, the only way you'll be able to hear the rest of the show live is by calling in. Also, if you're unaware, the show is archived. You can always go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debate-talk-for-you, and check out the archives. Imam Bashir, you can respond.
Yes, this whole thing is deeper than some flood story. We all agreed, even Chief X, they agreed, morals and ethics are in these books that will be beneficial for our people. They agreed to that. But then you want to nitpick on the story. So the debate should be about some authenticity to particular verses in the Bible, in the Quran, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, this is not the right debate for what you're trying to do. Because we already proved that these books are absolutely necessary.
We didn't prove that.
So, oh, yes, we did. You don't comprehend
no, you didn't.
that.
You espoused that.
Hold on. You don't comprehend that, brother. But at the end of the day, what we need to elevate ourselves, in particular from a moral and ethical standpoint, you already agreed with us, brother. You already said it. It's on tape that these books do have the morals and ethics that can be beneficial for our people. So it is what it is. They're necessary.
I said also that these things were known before these books came out. Did I not? Let's tell the whole story in context. See, this is what I'm talking about. This disingenuous. I said the information. Even you said it. You said there was divine writings before the books came out that preluded to it. You said that. I'm piggybacking off that. I'm saying all the things in the Bible were here and known and taught before a Quran hit the scene in AD times, before the Bible hit the scene in AD time. It's a plagiarization. It's not neat.
Even if it's a plagiarization, right, which means that it's copied without giving the proper acknowledgement, which I don't agree with. But even if we give you that, you just said that that's the ancient text still there available for the people. So why would you be hating on what is ancient and what we already had, what is put in that text? So
because the topic.
Hold on real quick. Brother, at the end of the day, we might as well go to the next caller because we're going to beat a dead horse. This is a different debate. It ain't even no debate no more about if the holy books are necessary. Beyond the Bible and the Quran, we had holy text, holy books, et cetera, et cetera. So they was necessary. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's already done with. I'm ready for the next caller.
That's not done with. The texts are necessary. If you remove the Bible and the Quran, the people would still have morality like they did previously to those books. Let's be real. The people would still know right from wrong because I said they have a conscience that tells them right from wrong. Your conscience tells you yay or nay. It's an innate thing. The book is not necessary. The book has not been proven to be necessary. That's just what you're saying because I'm debating you. You remove those things.
You know.
All right, hold on, gentlemen. We got a lot of callers standing by. We got to go to the next caller. And we have like 12 minutes on the air, people. We have 12 minutes on the air. Again, like I mentioned earlier, before the time runs out, if you want to hear the rest of the show live, you're going to have to call in while dialing that number, 646-716-7320. If you have a question or comment, use the same number, but press the number 1, and we'll add you into the conversation. Right about now, this is your time. This is the public Q&A. That's where you, the listening audience, can chime in with your questions and your comments respectfully, of course. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. So, again, we're going to probably go in the overtime part of the show, and after that, we're going to go to the final statement part of this debate. Let's go to the next caller. Let's go to 832-292. You're live on air.
What's happening? This is Black Jesus Minister. How y'all feel?
Hey, Black Jesus Minister. How you doing, brother?
All right, just fine. Mr. X, dear brother, I heard the entire debate, and you were holding your ground there, brother. You made some very strong points. I'm a believer. And Bashir was holding his side very well too. I would have given you the edge because I think that your arguments were more structured. But you basically killed yourself, dear brother, when you stated that your life was changed after you read the autobiography of Malcolm X. Well, dear brother, if your life was changed by Malcolm X, who was a believer in a holy book and a believer in a creator of God, and you attributed the change in your life to this man's life, you would not have read about Malcolm X. Malcolm X would have been a pretty much probably could have been dead, because his life was transformed by the very holy book and God that you are denouncing there, brother. So you killed yourself. When you said that, that was the end of the debate. Okay? You said that your life was changed. When you tie your change in your life being turned around to a man whose life was changed and saved, and he gave the change and the salvation to a holy book and a belief in a creator God, there, brother, then if you were to take a test and based on your life mirroring someone that you admire, you would fail the test, brother, okay? And you're failing the test. And Malcolm X would tell you that himself if he was here and had listened to you in this debate. Now, brother, please stop all this dumbness. Trying to say that Christianity did all this stuff. This was the white Europeans who did this. When they became, they perverted the understanding of the Bible by their mouth, not what was written in the Bible. Because when they wrote it, and translated, they did it right. But they didn't want you to learn how to read and write. And Brother Bashir was right about that, but you talked over that. The white man didn't teach us, didn't want us to learn to read and write. It was against the law. And the reason why he didn't want us to learn to read and write, brother, because if we read the Bible, if we would have been able to read the Bible, we would have seen that the Bible was about us and that they had no business having us as slaves. And that God is black and that Jesus is black. And we would know that Africa, through the Coptic Church, sir, of 42 AD, with your ignorant self, 42 AD, they were the ones who Christianized Europe. Europe did not Christianize Africa. Tertullian, the black African Coptic Christian priest, is called the father of Western Christian theology.
Yeah, hold on, brother. I got to let Chief X respond. We got 7 minutes on the air. Chief X, you can respond.
First of all, you lied when you came on the phone and said you heard the whole debate, because you heard me say I told the other dude he didn't hear the whole debate, because you brought up Malcolm X and I addressed that question with Bashir. See, this is that slick lying stuff. You did not hear the complete debate. I told you, and I told the people, I followed Malcolm X because of his rebel spirit, not because of his religion. I follow Malcolm X because I liked his talk about black nationalism and black power. Not because of religion. I never got suited and booted with the Nation of Islam or was a registered Muslim. You didn't hear the show. Okay? Keep it real. Now, and then you just killed yourself. You saying the Europeans perverted the Bible. But you hold to it. I guess I'm not sure if you're a Hebrew or Christian. You didn't state that, but it sounds like you're a Hebrew or a Christian. Okay? You're the one following a book translated by the Europeans when you say the Europeans are perverted. You contradict yourself and don't make sense. Okay? My stance is very clear and has been very clear. King James was the head of the committee that translated that book from another language. The same Europeans you said are wicked and foul and perverted. King James and a whole committee of Europeans up in England in the year 1600 who were starting the slave trade and who had slaves themselves. King James was an enslaver and a homosexual. Black folk had nothing to do with this current Bible we embrace called the King James Version Bible that black folk right now are holding up this wicked man's name in church. Stop coming on this phone lying and trying to sway people. We're not stupid. I'm not stupid. I've been in the game since 1993. Wasn't no whoever you said. Constantine was the first Christian emperor, a white boy. You follow European white boy stuff. Okay? I didn't change this thing to no flood, Bashir. The two callers called in asking about the flood story, trying to corner me. And they came with the wrong information about the flood story. It's written certain floods in certain areas, but it's not written anywhere that everybody on the planet died. Next caller.
All right, listen, we got to let Imam Bashir respond. Go ahead, Imam.
And it's just like I'm a Garveyite right now. Marcus Garvey was a Christian. I'm not a Garveyite because of his religious stance. I'm a Garveyite because of his social, political stance about unification. He didn't push his religion on people.
Yeah, let's let Imam Bashir respond. We got 4 minutes on the air. Go ahead, Imam. You can respond.
Yes, I mean, our brother just not getting it. and people that hold this philosophy, they just don't get it. So I guess they replay the tape at least 3 or 4 times, play it while you're sleeping, and then maybe we'll get what we're saying. When you use these people, such as Malcolm, such as Marcus Garvey, which attach themselves to one of these holy books, and it made them be such a light, and they radiated such greatness to the people, but at the very core of who they were, they would attribute that to the divine guidance in these holy books. That's the point. Their framework pulled you, someone who do not agree with the text, someone who has a problem with the text. They were able to pull you into their likeness. But their foundation was subscribing to these holy books. Now, the issue is not the topic is not should you propagate your message to to your neighbor or whatever the case may be. Like, come on, let's be serious. And then we're talking about, people just naturally want to do these things, but we know that infidelity in our community is running rapid. And they're not following a book. So what are they following? They're following their lower desires. We understand that. But the point is that we know if they go back to their book and they start living those moral codes, it will reform them. There's no argument about that. It can't be. There cannot be an argument about that. Even the Mennonites, these white folks in these little coat towns, even they get their own little text and their own books. But then you see how they live in correspondence with their text, even though I may not agree, but their text is elevating them. So it's necessary. So this is the wisdom of the Creator, and this is the wisdom of man sharing this information so the people can get a better understanding of what their purpose is. So let's try to get the people to activate on their book, because they already outside their mind. We've lost our mind. Anybody that don't agree with that don't know what is going on in this time. So we're already reacting on our lower desires. We already have that. We're already catching hell. We're already doing what we want to do. Our women are already doing what they want to do. They independent.
Stand by, Imam. Sorry about that. We have only 1 minute left in the air, guys. We have 1 minute left on the air. So, therefore, you're going to have to call in and hear the rest of the show. The number is 646-716-7320, and you can hear the rest of the show live. If you happen not to call in, though, the show is archived. So make sure you write down the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debatetalkforyou, or you can go to the YouTube page and check it out maybe a day later. But go ahead, Imam, before we go to the next call. And Chief X, I'm going to let you reply briefly, too. Go ahead, Imam.
I'm done, brother. I'm just going to stop right. Wait. Let me say this last thing. It's so evident that if we could get our people to activate with that which they already have, which would be common sense. Like, you already have some answers to your problem. You already have medicine right in front of your face. Take that medicine. Even if I don't want you to continue to follow these books, take that medicine first. I mean, because it's right there in your medicine cabinet. But I'm done. I'm done, brother.
All right, let's let Chief X reply briefly, and then we're going to go to the next caller. Go ahead, Chief X. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's really nothing to reply to. I mean, I'm almost, about ready for my closing statement. It's just rhetoric from pain, from the facts I've been kicking. Okay? It's one thing that I said that kills every argument that's made. Before it was written anywhere, it was in man's mind. That kills it all. I told you it was innate. The dog don't need a book on how to be a dog. It's in us. Morality has been with us forever. Regardless if a book is here or not, there's going to be death and destruction and foul behavior. It was death and destruction and foul behavior before the book. There's death and destruction and foul behavior after the book and in between the book. Those kind of arguments prove nothing. The fact is, those books are Johnny come lately. But I'm ready for my closing statement.
All right, before we get to the final statements, I'm going to take maybe two more callers, and after that, we're going to go to the final statement part of the show. I see we have more people calling in for the overtime part of this show. I appreciate you guys for staying with us right here on Debate Talk Radio, something special. So let's go to the next caller. And by the way, the next caller is actually caller number 5. So caller number 5, just send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. And I'm going to send you your free Seek Truth Gospel LP. It's coming out on August 6th officially, but I'm going to give you an early release of the album, absolutely free. So let's go to caller number 5. Let's go to 347-972. State your name and who you are. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. What's going on? This is your brother Raheem. Sound, you're a funny dude. What's going on? I was sitting here like, I bet it's going to be me. Oh, man. Assalamu alaikum to Brother Bashir. Peace to Chief X. And what's going on, Sal?
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
Who's calling? Who's calling?
Brother Raheem.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm always on the show, so I'm debating somebody. I just debated Black Jesus, the last debate. So shout out to him, too. Shout out to Brother Israel, Mikael, and to the other brothers. What I wanted to say is, I didn't listen to the whole show, I'm going to be truthful, but I'm going off of what the topic is, are the holy books necessary? You said it's innate in nature. And then you said some things that I didn't agree with. You said, well, the Bible doesn't teach you good eating habits. Well, all you got to do is read Leviticus. It tells you not to eat pork. It talks about clean and dirty animals. It tells you how to eat your meat. Matter of fact, if you can go all the way to Genesis, it talks about being a vegetarian and throughout the book and so on and so on. So I don't agree with you on that. And the Quran, throughout the Quran, it tells you how to eat, what not to eat. It says not to eat pork, not to eat that hit in the head mystery meat, and eat what is good for you. And we know what is good for you. So we don't have to go into the dynamics. So the book is necessary. If your innate nature, see, we're not animals, first of all. We're not a cat. Cats and other animals have what is called predetermined destination or predetermined instinct, okay? They don't have a will. A hen has no nature to say or will to say, you know what, I don't feel like sitting on this egg for 2 weeks. I think I'm going to go hang out with my other hen homegirls and we're going to go party. No, that hen stays on that egg because it has predetermined instinct and she don't have a will. We do. We have a will to do right or wrong. All right? So my thing is, if you're talking about innate nature versus the books, myself, I could bear witness for myself. I knew what was right and wrong when I was out in the world, but I needed something as a guide. The Quran was that guide, and it showed me things that in my previous life, where I thought just like you, and I've been studying before you. I've been studying since 1980. And I'm still studying under scholars and so forth. So with that, I know this book helped me. For instance, 50,000 Hispanics, they have their own community, became Muslims, and they are doing great works. See, the reason why you don't see that is because you're not paying attention. And if you're not paying attention, you won't know if the book is working. So it worked for me. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, your whole argument is shut down. It worked for me. It's working for them and other folk. So Bashir basically got the debate because the debate is, do the holy books work? And they do. If you apply it, you can't say the book hasn't helped people. Now, I wanted to ask you one question. One question. Since your innate nature, and you talk about nature, let me ask you, how do you keep clean when you come out of the bathroom? Do you stand up and urinate, Chief X?
Yes, I do.
Bam, there you go. Right there, I'm going to show you why your innate nature and you watching the nature and watching the cosmos didn't teach you how to even purify yourself. Because if you stand up and urinate, you are coming out the bathroom. Any man standing up urinating, you're going to have urine on your pants all day. So you're not purified. And if you go back to history, the Muslims did this. The Egyptians did this. Herodotus said the Egyptian men sat down and the women stood up. So your nature, this is just one example. Your nature, your innate nature is not teaching you everything that these books could teach you. And that's all I wanted to say. And shalom to the Israelites, and peace to Brother X, and salam alaikum to Bashir, and salam to you, Sal. And I hope you got that track and play it, man. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thanks a lot. Chief X, you can reply.
I mean, that was just so much of a botched up argument. You know, he said so many things that was just botched up, and people force fit things. Because I was telling you earlier that the Bible was mass produced by people off a printing press. If they mass produced a book written by a psychiatrist, like they mass produced the Bible, people would be quoting that like they quote the Bible. You know what I mean? Things are forced on you. Now, if your argument to the Bible does teach about nutrition is that it says don't eat pork, and that's it, that's the weakest argument I ever heard. Just because the book says don't eat pork and eat good food, that is not called teaching nutrition at all whatsoever. That argument you came up with was flawed. Okay? The Bible does not teach about nutrition, alkaline foods, and vegetarianism and things like that. It just doesn't. Okay? It doesn't talk about, nutrition. Okay? In the Nile Valley, the beginning of the Nile, in the Congo, is where all the medicines are. Okay? These Twa people knew healing and wasn't not one book around. They can go to the jungle, nature, and pick a tree, fruit and vegetables, and get nutrition and heal people. They were medicine men. They didn't have no Bible. They didn't have no Quran. Okay? That argument is flawed. Then he comes bringing up a argument talking about because you stand up and urinate. The Bible teaches a man how to pee. You know what I mean? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's force-fitting things. Men been peeing a million years ago before a Quran, a Bible, and peeing properly, I might add. It doesn't mean you're not clean because you stand up and pee. Let's be serious with this elementary and remedial arguments. The Bible don't teach nutrition. They had medicine and healing before Bible. They had that at first man with the Twa people in the Congo. They had medicines. And they knew all about all that thing because nature taught them it, not the Bible. The Bible didn't teach man any of these things. The Bible don't teach how to do open heart surgery. You can't even learn how to do surgery. You can't even learn how to get a job or train for a job. Food, clothing, shelter. You can't learn none of it. You can't learn how to make no clothes from reading the Bible. Then he mentions Herodotus said this about that. Another European. You guys got to get up off this European theology and these foul remedial arguments. That's it.
All right, Imam, you can respond. And after that, we're going to take one more caller, and then we're going to go to the final statements. Go ahead.
Okay, listen. We have a big problem, and it's a critical thinking and comprehension problem. Because we have this philosophy that a dog doesn't need a book to be a dog. A cat doesn't need a book to be a cat. A lion doesn't need a book to be a lion. The more we say that, it gets a little bit, it has a little primitive feel, don't it? It feels kind of like caveman-y, like cat, dog, lion, no book. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to replace the holy book that say, you were created in the image of God, or you're the manifestation of God. And since God is a creator, God is a ruler, God is superior, God is not inferior to anything, but God is the master of his destiny. And you were made in that image. So despite the lions, the tigers, and the bears, you yourself will have power and dominion over the land, air, and sea. Despite your weak stature, our weak stature, in comparison to those wild beasts in the plains and the jungles, the gorilla, the orangutan, the lions, etc. Despite their strength, our books tell us that you are a manifestation of that. Versus you telling the people, you don't need a book to be a dog. But then when you look inside the community, we're having so much promiscuity in our relationships that Our women, we call our women bees, witches, but put the bee in the front. And our women call our men dogs. This is truth. This actually happens in our community every day. Right? She's bees, he's dogs. They nothing but dogs.
Yeah, I apologize, Imam Bashir. Yeah, we're kind of winding down for time right now, so I'm going to take another caller, and after that, we're going to go to the final statements. Once again, I wish I could get to every single caller, but, time doesn't permit. Let's take one more caller. After that, we're going to go to the final statements. Let's go to 910-489. You're live on air.
Yeah, this is Nasir Dubai and your Yashar again from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I just wanted to, since he's so bent on saying that the flood stories don't talk about the whole world, I just wanted to read maybe 2, 3, 4 of them and see if they're talking about the whole earth. Okay, so first I need him to teach me something right quick because I don't know this information. Is a pygmy and a Twa people, are they the same?
Twa or the Batwa?
The
Twa and the Batwa. They're the oldest people on the planet. Europeans call them pygmies.
Okay. So that's the same people, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and in your mind, they are the oldest people on the planet. All right, gotcha. All right, now here's a record from them that says chameleon, whoever that is, heard a strange noise, like water running in a tree. But at that time, there was no water in the world. Does that sound familiar to you? The Bible story says that there was no water and never rain on earth. And there was
There's always water in the earth before there were human beings.
Okay, gotcha. Now, chameleon cut open the trunk, and water came out in a great flood that spread all over the earth. The first human couple emerged with the water. And that's from Parinder, page 4647. Now, if I go over to Egypt, they also have a worldwide flood story. It says, people have become rebellious. Atone, I guess I would call him our Adam, said he will destroy all he made and return the whole earth, to the primordial water, which was its original state. Atone will remain in the form of a serpent with Osiris. And that's from Faulkner, plate 30. That's 2 of them. I mean, there's over 200 of them that I'm looking at right now. I can read about 2 more if you want.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what you're reading from. You said the Twa wrote something. The Twa didn't really write books.
Mm-hmm. So they did not have any type of language?
Yeah, they spoke language, but they didn't write books. They didn't write no flood story. I don't know what you're reading.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And other story you were talking about the story of creation, primordial waters. There wasn't a flood story. And it didn't state that everybody on the planet died.
Okay. All right. So you're an African guy, so I'll stay in African countries then and read one more. Let me find me an African country here. Let's go to Ghana. Let's see if this is a worldwide. Okay.
You're reaching.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Okay, the good spirit. This is not Ghana, Guyana. Okay, the good spirit, Makunaima, he who works in the night, created the heaven and earth. When he had created plants and trees, he came down from his heavenly mansion, climbed the tree, and chipped off bark with a large stone axe. The chips turned into animals of all kinds when they fell into the river at the base of the tree. Next, Makunama created man, and after the man had fallen asleep, he awoke to find a woman beside him. Later, the evil spirit got more power on earth, so Makunama sent a great flood. Only one man survived in a canoe. He sent a rat to see whether the flood had abated, and the rat returned with a cob of maize. When the flood had subsided, the man threw stones behind him, which became other people. And that's from Fraser, page 255 and 256. So, I mean, there's over 200 of them that talk about the whole earth flooding and everyone dying, and there will only be a few survivors.
And you believe a rat went out to see if things was okay. And this, see, the flood story in the Bible is not a story the way you told it. You're telling a story of mythology. And if you don't know, talking about a rat went to go check and then came back and communicated. Come on, man. I don't even have time to even discuss that one.
Yeah, we got to move on. Imam Bashir, briefly, and after that, we got to go to the final statements. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you let 215-954 on?
I don't see that person on the switchboard. We have a lot of people on the switchboard, but we got to move on, brother. I mean, you know, you can make a comment.
I was going to let them, just do it and, take this time. But it's cool if you can't do it. It's cool. I'm good. I don't have nothing to say. I'm good.
All right, so let's get to the final statement part of this debate. And once again, I just want to thank both Imam Bashir and Chief X for making this Debate Talk for You Summer Special first show happen. And again, I know the people out there's a lot of people tuning in right now via phone, via Skype, and on social media, checking out the show. And again, like I always tell people every show, make sure you take down your notes to do your own independent research. Whatever you hear, hopefully you guys took down some notes. And to my contenders that come on the Lions Den and Debate Talk for You, no matter who the listening audience may be, the burden of proof is on you. I've seen it done, House of Consonants, a lot of times there's not a lot of Hebrews in that audience, but, some brothers go there and they still make a point. Some people actually, understand the information. So the burden of proof is always on the contenders to present the information to the people out there. I want to thank both scholars. Both of you guys are like honorable brothers for coming on. And we're going to go to this final statement right about now. Again, remember, next Friday we have another debate going on. Next Friday, that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time between Brother Sha'ala and Zadok in Israel. And you don't want to miss that show with another highly anticipated debate for this Debate Talk for You Summer Special. So let's wrap this up. We're going to go to the final statements. It's going to be 7 minutes each. Let's go to Chief X with your final statements. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sal. I do respect you, Sal, because you always remain unbiased and you're a very good host. And even though things sometimes get heated, I got big respect for you and I love your show. And love to come back again and smash the rest because I'm 3-0 now. Now, for my closing, okay, title is Are Holy Books Necessary? I pretty much proved that they weren't necessary, okay? And the purpose of the book is for mental and spiritual enslavement. Yeah, it has good things and good teachings, but they need that to lure people, okay? None of the prophets, out of the whole book of hundreds of names, only 2 of them actually can be proven to existed. That's Ramses and Taharka. All the others, there's no proof of. All the events are not factual or historical at all. Because as I said, it's biblical literature. It's not biblical history. It's Quranic literature. It's not Quranic history. It's not world history. It's a difference between world history and biblical or holy book literature. Okay? So the purpose of the book is mental and spiritual enslavement. Okay? It's to give, it makes you give your power away to an outside fictional entity. It does. People are praying to an outside source and negating self. God is in a people. If I want to get in touch with God, I get in touch with myself because I am God and the devil, and I have both higher and lower natures. And I meditate to self to bring things to fruition, to bring the God up out of me, If I want to go to college and pass my test, I have to get deep down inside and think and meditate and bring things to fruition. I can't beg an outside force outside of me to correct things in my life. I have to seek self and seek within. Elijah Muhammad said, do for self. Okay? So, before things was written, as I said, it was in the mind. Okay? The Bible tells us, see, we're African people. We're black people, African people, whatever you want to call it. The Bible teaches us that the Jews are the chosen people. It teaches that the God, Jesus, was a Jew. The Jewish land, Israel, is the Holy Land. Now, what does this do to my little African black child's mind when he sees he's not chosen? God is not of his stock. He's a Jew. You know, the Holy Land is not in Africa, it's in Israel. What does that do to the black child's African mind? He has to feel like he's just some kind of lowly Gentile, like the other caller called me. And I'm just a Gentile. That's harmful to a black child growing up, knowing that he doesn't see himself in his religion. When I was growing up, I didn't see myself in my religion. My people did not see themselves in their religion. It's like a kid when they go to school and they learn about Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, Thomas Jefferson, all these great presidents, Lewis and Clark expedition. They learn all this white history. So they fail in school because the kids don't see themselves in their people, in their education. White folks see themselves in their education. White, pale Jewish people see themselves in their religion. Jewish people wrote this Bible, put together this Bible. It was a Jewish-Roman collaboration. That's why the Jews are the chosen. That's why Israel is the Holy Land. And that's why the God is the Jew. It was a collaboration of them, and that is their literature they wrote for them, and for the rest of the world they wanted to control with it and use it for political purposes. It negates the African. The Bible is anti-African. You even have new translations of the book, and they still can't put the word Africa in the book. You can't find the word Africa in not one holy book, even a revised holy book on the planet. The word Africa is not in there, not one time. The book is anti-African. But the words Israel is in there. Other countries are named in there, not Africa. How does that make me and my people feel? Is it not good for us? It's not good for us. I told you where these books originated from and when they came on the planet. They came on the planet in AD time. The Quran came on the planet 680 AD. I'm not just talking off the mouth. These are facts, and Imam Bashir knows the Quran wasn't revealed until the 7th century. Imam Bashir and the world knows that the Bible didn't get here till hundreds of years after 1 AD. Did y'all forget I said that? So obviously, things were fine before these books came on the scene. People knew things before these books came on the scene. We don't need them now. They're not necessary. It didn't say, is it good to read sometimes? The question is, are they necessary? Necessary means like if you don't have it, then all hell will break loose and people will die and this shit chaos. So they're not necessary. You may find some good moral teachings, but you cannot grow up on a book of lies. Wrong events. Wrong people, characters that didn't exist. People walking on water. Those are called children's stories. We're adults. It's time to grow up. Okay? People cannot progress under religion. The world knows religion is the most divisive force on the planet. And I don't see why we're sitting here playing games and acting like it's not. The man just called me a Gentile and thinking he's something different. We can't unite with Mo. I can't unite with the Islamic people unless I embrace Islam. Everyone can unite with a Pan-African, regardless of your religion, because we don't have a religion. We're just about progress.
All right, that was Chief X with his final statement. Once again, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on inside the Lions Den. But before you go, Chief X, let the people know that want to reach out to you. Maybe they have further questions. Let them know where they can find you on social media. Maybe you want to put an email out there. Go ahead. Let people know where they can find you.
Yes, sir. I have a YouTube page simply called Chief X. You can type it in, find my YouTube page. I got many YouTube videos there for your edification. Also, I'm on Facebook under Varian Xavier. And sometimes you can just put in Chief X and I'll pop up. You know what I mean? So I'm readily available. And here for the people to continue to teach and make people think. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to change someone's mind. I just want to make people think and see the realities. And the reality is that nature is our guide. It always has been.
Once again, Chief X, I appreciate you, man. That was his third debate inside the Lions Den just now. And, of course, send me an email at debatetalkforyou.com, and I'd like to hear what the people got, what they think about these debates. But we're going to go to Imam Bashir right now with his final statement. Let's open up his phone line. And go ahead, brother.
X, rather, is for this ideology that he's trying to push, even though we buried it 6 feet deep, put the dirt on it, it's over. But our brother showed his spiritual illiteracy and his scriptural, textual illiteracy. Because he'll use some of the text in the Bible and in the Quran to try to make his point. But he's missing the whole context of the text. And even if we give him the benefit of the doubt, even if we say, okay, brother, we agree with you, none of the characters are real. Let's just say that, for example. And I say, A'udhu Billah. I seek refuge from that. But nevertheless, for argument's sake, go ahead. Tell the people that. At the end of the day, it does not change the context, nor does it change the morals. And at the end of the day, thousands of years since men been writing, we've been accepting these sacred religious texts. So you could go back in antiquity and discover this. So you have a group of people that have divine guidance that they know that the people are attached to when it comes to professing it, but not living it. Then on the other hand, we have someone that's saying, oh, you don't need those books. Now the people are really not, majority of the people are not utilizing the books anyway. So you going over there to say you don't need these books, they're already in agreement with you. So the battle is not even telling them that they don't need the books. The battle is telling them, get back in your book. That's the battle. You say you are a Christian, you wearing that Jesus piece on your chest, you wearing that cross on your chest. How about you start bearing your own cross? How about you start living as Jesus would have lived? And then our brother telling us about gang members that's up in the church. So I had to ask the question, did Jesus gang bang? Was Jesus crip walking? Was Jesus throwing up flags? He not exist? Okay. I'm going to give you that for just a moment. Just a moment. Even though we'll disprove you on that and show your lack of knowledge and understanding, but even if we give it to you, there's a moral to that story. So those books instill good inside the people. So our brothers will give us silly arguments. But they're so far tonight, he's been selective on holy books. So he told us, okay, there's spiritual sacred texts and religious writings, and I can dig that. I can agree with that. But, you know, it's just your version of spirituality I think we should reject. Then he says the Bible and the Quran is not even ancient texts. Maybe he should look at the definition of ancient and understand the connections of the Torah, the Septuagint, Dead Sea Scrolls. Then he says, oh, the text is allegorical. As if in our tradition we did not use parables and allegories and metaphors to explain a particular thing. So you could go to the Igbo, you could go to the Ashanti, you could go to the ancient Zulus and see that they use allegories, metaphors in their stories. So are you really Pan-African? Do you really understand what Pan-African is? Do we really understand what black liberation is? Then he talks about sky daddies. I could go all over Africa and show you a bunch of so-called sky daddies. Then they say, I'm a student of life. Nature. Well, let me tell you something. Nature was created to serve us. But nature in itself had a beginning. Is that 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
All right. Nature in itself had a beginning. This is why these brothers are now trying to tell us that we come from daggone primates, that we come from monkeys, that we come from rat-like creatures. This is where they are headed. This is why they don't understand the nature of the higher, lower self like he's talking about. They are insane. They have lost contact with the God consciousness that we can prove has been on this planet since man has been writing, because we have the evidence to prove this information, but they want to bring white supremacist atheism into the minds of the people. That's their agenda. That's why they're telling you. I mean, we live in such big cities. You live in New York City, you can't even see the skyline. He told us so, follow nature. They have created a system, and the way that we live is outside of nature. We don't even like nature as black people. Scared to go in the daggone woods. But their books that you're disregarding allows us to understand how we must be in tune with nature in everything. And in fact, that you're the caretakers of the planet. Lions of Allah, we in the building. Check us out, lionsofallah.info. We bring this information and make sure, if you are the Afro-Kitab, the people of the book, go out there and get our people activated and tell them, if you're wearing that cross, if you're wearing that Christ, you have to be Christ-like. You have to be Moses-like. You have to be a replica of those prophets that stood for righteousness, stood for divine guidance, stood for good moral and ethical behavior. He's using Malcolm, Elijah, and all these great people who held or had a covenant or a contract with their divine guidance in their own personal life. But then on the backside, he smacks them in the face and says, to hell with your whole
Imam Bashir right there. And again, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on as well. Again, I appreciate both contenders for coming on and making a time out to come on out here and debate and present the information to the people out there. They didn't have to do it, but they did. But let's go to Imam. Let people know where they can find you on social media. Let them know where they can find you.
Peace, family. Be sure to check us out, Lions of Allah, the People's Organization on Facebook. Go hit that like, show some love. You also could hit me up on Bashir Abdul Haq on Facebook. Check us out on our website, lionsofallah.info. We unify with all of our people so that we can make a difference in our communities. So, come check us out, see the things that we're doing, lionsofallah.info. We in the building. We got to push this information. The people of the book, we hold fast to any divine guidance. Use your divine guidance to your benefit. Teach it how it should be taught. And we will have differences. And we will have issues. But nonetheless, if we have good morals and we have good ethics, which those holy books teach us, then we would know how to deal civilly with differences, such as how Sal has set up this show to give an opportunity for differences of opinion to be expressed in a civilized manner. And differences does not mean that that's necessarily a bad thing, because difference in opinion can allow us to come to a conclusion as to what is right. Because you can't have good and understand what is bad. You can't understand hot unless you understand what is cold. So this is what Lions of Allah, the People's Organization, this is what we're about. We're about unification, and we do have a sector inside our organization where, those that attach to the Quran, we have our teachings, but we have the other side, which is the People's Organization, where it's a social, political, black agenda for our communities, and is non-sectarian, etc. So check us out one more time, lionsofallah.info. Sal, I appreciate the opportunity to come on and bring this, speak truth to power. And I like the program that you were doing, and I think that divine guidance is working through you, brother, because you set up a platform where we can elevate ourselves. And this is a great example of how this divine text can help and elevate us. Not no Timothy McVeigh, Ku Klux Klan, and all of this rhetoric. Thank you, brothers. I leave y'all with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, my brother. Once again, I appreciate you guys. Again, appreciate both contenders. Again, they take their time out to put the information out there. Again, I wish we was on a status where we can pay both guys and, pay everybody to come on, but we're not on it. So both of them are coming in for free, absolutely free, to present the information to you guys. So hopefully you guys appreciate the special guests that come on Debate Talk for You Radio. And again, I appreciate those people that donate to the show and help us and grow. Without your support, guys, we're not going to go but so far. So in order for us to go and do a live events and things of that nature, we need the full support of the people out there. So again, if you want to support the brand, the email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. This is Debate Talk for You Summer Special. So once again, next week we have more shows for you guys, from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I said 9. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday to Friday. So this is the Summer Special. Keep a lock on Debate Talk for You Radio, and let us know what you think about the show. Send me an email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. We're going to probably put it up in a few on the YouTube page. Go to youtube.com/debatetalkforyou. And please subscribe to the show, guys. We need your subscription. Without your support, like I said, without your support, guys, we're not able to grow. So if you like the show and you're calling on a regular basis and you've been hearing this for a while, why not support fully? Just subscribe. Press the like button, subscribe button, and let people know that you're a dedicated listener of the brand Debate Talk for You. All right, guys, so we're going to see you next week, Monday, guys, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care.
This is your host,
Sal Showtime, host of the radio show, Debate Talk for You Radio. I just want to take some time out to thank each and every person out there for supporting the show and tuning in from Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, logging on to Debate Talk for You Radio. Everybody knows we have the greatest debates in the world. We're one of the most popular shows on the internet, so make sure you tell a friend to log on and check out the Facebook page by going to facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. That's facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. If you'd like to be a special guest, send me an email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. Continue to support the show. And make sure you tell a friend, like I said, spread the word all over the globe. Debate Talk for You is live on the air. And if you want to call in, you know the number, 646-716-7320. You can listen via phone, listen via Skype, and check out the show live. If you want to have any questions, just press the number 1, and I'll add you to the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Debate Talk for You Radio. See you next time.